Yo, guys, I'm like, why does my hair look so bad on camera? And I'm like, what's going on here? And it's not, I'm just getting gray and it looks weird. All right, let's kick it off. Want to get to Iowa? Trump's endorsement looks to be coming through in some of the more swingy counties, but it is way too early to say. Way too early. It's just there is really one up that I was curious about. Was on the list. From these cabs, guys. Holy moly. Not even sure I shared stuff everywhere. All right, so here we go. Yeah, this was kind of a last minute thing. Very funny, very funny. Somebody just sent me the touch of gray. I can't get rid of it, guys, because my wife loves it. She loves it. All right, thanks for watching. A little in the middle of, can we get that changed up there? And yeah, we need one for between the numbers. All right, you are watching a little special episode of Between the Numbers. We shouldn't have to go that long tonight. Of course, with the People's Pundit. If you like the videos, don't forget to like them and to share them far and wide. Share them far and wide. You can follow us everywhere at People's_Pundit on X and the Gram. And then it is technically at People's Pundit on Getter and I believe Truth. All right. So you got to get that underscore if you're looking on X and the Gram. Don't forget to follow along on the new Gram. Come on, let's get it. Let's boost it. Come on. I'm feeling positive energy. We're going to boost the Gram. We're going to come in hot on the Gram. All right. There's a lot of shorts and stuff up there that we don't post anywhere else. Getter, we're starting to work on your G Talk. All right. All right. Let's throw this up. This is a race. If you're on locals, ooh, see, right in the Des Moines area, Lon is winning Polk County. Oh, boy. Listen, for locals, this is why I say join locals, join locals, join locals. Because if you are a member of peoplespundit.locals.com, you know that this race was something we needed to look at. Why? Okay. Listen, Randy Finstra has run a terrible campaign. All right. He's basically a missing in action congressman. He was considered the favorite. And then this guy, Lon, comes out of nowhere, gets some good endorsements. Zach Lon, he is a farmer and a businessman, and he self-funds. He actually, as it turns out, it may be in this final little stretch, he outraised Randy Finstra in the in actual not loaning to his campaign. But he's been flush with cash, and Finstra has been struggling, less than $120,000 left in the bank. I put a poll up on locals. It was conducted by JMC, although I can't speak to how well it was conducted. They had Zach Lon ahead, but here's the kicker. They had Zach Lon winning the late breakers. Ooh, what do we got here? All right, Finstra by 6 votes in Carroll so far with 30 in. That Polk area, that should concern when we get a little bit closer to Cedar Rapids as well. There are 31 pivot counties in the state of Iowa. And this is an interesting race to me because Trump endorsed, I believe, on May 29th. The JMC poll that we put up was in the field the 2 days before that. And the question is, well, really twofold. Finstra, the GOP has been flipping out. They've been hitting the panic button on this campaign for a while. It is an out-of-character endorsement or uncharacteristic endorsement for Donald Trump. I don't know if it's because the people who are running Finstra's campaign and polling for it and everything else, running the ads, I don't know if they're Trump's people. But that could explain it because Trump typically doesn't like to get involved in tough races where he could tarnish his endorsement record. He doesn't like it. You have to show him polling where you have money and you're ahead. You're the favorite for some reason. Right now, Zach Lon is leading Randy Finstra, and who's a sitting congressman. 7.5% of the vote, though, is only in. And that is because he's winning the vote-rich areas of Des Moines, which you can overwhelm if you are the, what do you want to call it, MAGA, insurgent conservative. All right. There's a bunch of other races that I put up. I don't know if you had a chance to go through them, locals, but of course, there's 6 states in holding their regular primaries tonight, and there are some really interesting races. I'm going to go to another one real quick. I want to go check on what Democrats are doing in New Jersey House 7. Where's New Jersey House 7? Is it not up here? Here it is. Oh, wow. Bennett is winning. All right, let's see what's in, though. It's a lot. Holy shit, it's over. Rebecca Bennett has won. Republicans spent money attacking Rebecca Bennett. They very obviously viewed her as the more formidable candidate. And interestingly enough, in New Jersey, Republicans are going to have another absent congressman. All right, he's been suffering apparently from some medical condition. We don't know what it is. He's been very quiet about it. This is a district Donald Trump won by 1 point. Did they show this down here? Probably not. Let me just look at the margins. What came from where? Union County, Hunterdon. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. This will be one of the Democrats' top targets. I'll be honest with you guys. I think at this point, it's all but gone. All right. I think Republicans will lose this district. The congressman, obviously, who's running unopposed, it's just no big deal here, is having some issues, and we don't know what they are. Trump has supported him as well, but it is what it is. All right, I want to keep coming back to this Iowa governor's race. I really do. The Senate, they're probably not even going to put up, but let's see who Democrats are putting up. Looks like Josh Turek is ahead of Walz. That's pretty dispersed well around the state. We'll see what happens, but it does look like to me there was an argument being made that Josh Turek was more electable than Zach Walz, and that seems to have resonated with at least the Iowans that cast a vote so far. There was like no early vote cast on the Republican side. It looks kind of embarrassing right now when I look at the early vote, Republican against Democrat. This is why Robert and I have warned multiple people that, Iowa, for instance, is not a state that you could just sleep on if you are a Republican. Let me add this to my list. Watch list, bang. And let me put it in my I want to keep an eye on this. And now let's go to the Republican Senate race, which will be over anyway, but let's just do it. I want to see the vote share. Let's see the Republican primary pop up. They're not going to show it on the feature because Ashley Hinchcliffe won. Jim Carlin got more of the vote than some of those internal polls suggested, but they called it. Looking at the votes, look at this: 22,738 votes versus where's my other Iowa? I mean, there's more in on the Democratic side, and you can see actually Walz is carrying some of the Western, more evangelical areas we're going to get into. We'll see what happens by Sioux Falls. But that's a lot of votes. I got a couple of text messages saying, hey, you're looking at Iowa and how much Democrats are outvoting Republicans in Iowa. And I mean, I'm not surprised. We've been watching some people just obsessed with voter registration numbers. The trends have gone in the wrong direction for Republicans on independent vote switchers, meaning if you're an independent, you may change your registration to vote in a primary in a state, and Iowa's one of these. You have to, you can change your registration to participate in someone else's primary up until the last minute, by the way. Look at this. Oof, Turek is going to win. I don't know whether I think Turek is more electable than Walz. I honestly, the verdict's out on that. I understand the argument. The verdict is out, though. All right, let's go back, guys, and let me make this bigger so you don't see me and you just see what I'm talking about here. I really do think that, didn't I put the Iowa governor? I didn't. Let me go back and put the Iowa governor's race in my watch list. Okay. This is interesting. All right, again. Oof. Look, Feenstra has, at least he's got support pretty much. Let me look at some of these counties. Give me a second. The question is, like Muscatine and Lee, this is early vote. And when this comes in, when the election day vote, this is all early vote. About 15% is about estimated to be early vote. So I'm curious as to whether Feenstra will even hang on to some of these. Okay, there we go. He should start gaining on him, but I did just see Polk chunk in. That's why. So I gave him a nice stretch, but looks like Randy is getting that traditional. Yeah, I'm tempted to call it MAGA, but the truth is, guys, it's not anymore. We are routinely now seeing the Trump candidates do well in the older traditional conservative early vote. They aren't that's not the base. All right. It is part of the Republican coalition, but it's not part of the MAGA base. It changed. This was the vote that opposed Trump, frankly. That's why early votes always look better for Nikki Haley. There's been no, just for people who may have a question, there has been no effort to get Trump's base MAGA, OG MAGA, or even part of that new MAGA coalition, not new MAGA as we make fun of it, like, this is new MAGA's old and white now. There has been no effort to get them to vote any earlier, guys. Okay. All right. See, now this is I'm curious about. Here's Woodbury. We are getting closer to the evangelical areas. When I saw those Democratic votes come in, I was like, let me look and see. I don't know if Trump's endorsement is going to save Randy Fincher, Laura. This looks close. But like if Zach Lawn actually, who self-funded, he had a lot of money. I like the guy. I'll be honest with you. Votes are cast now. It doesn't matter what I say. I like the guy. Randy seemed entitled to me. His campaign was run like garbage. It was horrible. And Trump endorsed him on May 29th while JMC Analytics was in the field for 2 days and they actually had Fincher very clearly losing. I mean, yeah, it looked close, but the undecideds were breaking to Zach Lawn, and it looks like, at least right now, I mean, he won the big vote poke where Des Moines is. So there is a lot of red vote outside of these urban centers, but Lawn is even leading, and I mean overwhelming. 60, is this an era? 65-14, is that an era? Because if he won Woodbury like that in the early vote chunk, if that persists, that's a big county. I mean, it's only a little bit of its vote, but the fact Zach Lawn won it is got to be concerning to the Fincher campaign right now. Like, they have to be looking at this like, oh no, because you need Trump's influence in the southwestern part of the state to overcome when Cedar Rapids and some of these other areas come in. This is, that's a better vote get right there, but it's not as big of a county as some of these others. Did you want to add something, or just what's that? That's there. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were if you needed to get my attention for something. That's all.
I'm just annoyed.
All right, you are totally. I don't even think this is going to be that late of a night. I'll be honest with you. I want to go back to the. Did I add this?
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay.
And put you on my
cool.
phone.
Yep. I will see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at this. Turk now leads by 30 almost. Holy crap. This is crazy. I mean, that's a blowout. They both, it didn't seem like, oh my God, he just took those counties as election day vote came in. Oh my Lord. I don't know what they're waiting on. I imagine they're waiting for Cedar Rapids. Because look, guys, it's not like a Republican primary. There won't be that many votes all around these rural areas, although they're currently outvoting the shit out of Republicans. This is just bad. 40. Yeah, this is bad. 48,000 vote. This is bad. Democrats the independents are leaning into them. That's why Jim Carlin is winning Woodbury. He is. He got every vote out of that 89 vote chunk. That may be a transmission error or something. But Carlin is getting 24% of the vote. Look, for what he did, it's just a pure protest vote. He had no money. He was outspent. Trump endorsed Ashley Hinson. I'll be honest with you guys. I think you probably know how I feel about this. Ashley Hinson is a horrible candidate. All right. And she's going to be a horrible senator. She's not even going to be a Joni Ernst. That's how bad that is. She is a liberal. And honestly, it is kind of well known, but not well reported, but well known that Ashley Hinson was palling around with Nikki Haley and actually helped in Johnson County carry it for Nikki Haley. The one county that Nikki Haley carried. And she carried it by, I believe, 1 vote. That's it. There it is right there, actually, Johnson. And I guess they're probably waiting on the Democratic side of that, too. Johnson's put in nothing. There's a lot of Democratic votes there. But, geez, man, winning Polk. Oof. Dubuque. Oof. The Omaha suburbs. Oof. Oof. I don't know. The Democratic side looks like a total ass kicking to me. It does. I know we'll get to some of these other races. I see you guys over there. I just think this is such an important race. Okay, we're seeing Finster leading in some of these speckled areas. He'll start gaining if that's the case, but Lawn actually did win another little chunk of that vote. Steen is actually winning in Dallas. Get out of here. That's interesting. What we need to know is whether there's going to be a big change from the election day vote. I should have looked at Mustain. That looks closer to me from when it was early vote. It could be wrong, but it does. All right, at least he's winning Dubuque, but it's only 15% in. All right, we'll come back to this. Let's go back. What do I want to look at here? New Jersey, outside of New Jersey, 7. It's not that, big of a deal. California, we're probably going to leave California to talk about tomorrow, to be honest with you guys. Otherwise, we won't have content here. Where are we? It's Bennett. It's done. I forgot. Yep. And Murphy. How close is this? Whoo! That is a close race. Holy moly, that's a close race. Wow. Wow. That's interesting, though. Shame turnout isn't better. It's pretty bad. I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but the story of the night continues to be, let's see what happens with California. But I have a feeling Democrats were waiting because they had a choice to make in the governor's race. All right. So I have a feeling that Democrats were, in fact, waiting before they decided to cast their votes. So I've seen this before in California. It looks like Republicans are romping and doing better with returns. And at the end there and on election day, more Democrats just come out and they stomp them. Oh my God. He can't afford to lose some of these counties. It means that some margins in the counties that Finster needs to win could be closer than they need to be, because there are so few votes in some of these counties that Finster's going to win, guys. He needs to win them by big margins. It's a 3-way race, which already makes that a little tricky, but very clearly this guy was no joke. Zach Long was no joke, and he's going to put up a fight regardless of what happens here. He's still ahead by about 2,000 votes, which is where he's been able to keep it much the entire time. The loss of Dubuque is going to be hard if he doesn't make up some ground there. He can lose it by 10. I mean, he carried Polk by 10, but we'll see what happens in some of the other areas. The Cedar Rapids County, Johnson is going to, there's a lot of votes in Johnson, guys. There is. So we'll just have to wait for this to come on. Wait for this to come in. Rebecca Bennett, by the way, who won the primary for U.S. Senate in New Jersey. For the 7th district. Has a biography a lot like Mikey Sherrill, whatever, Mikey Sherrill, who ran for governor, the woman who ran for governor. She was a former Navy helicopter pilot. So is Rebecca Bennett. She was a Navy helicopter pilot. Same thing. So there's actually, if you look at the biography of a lot of these Democrats that are running around the country, not just in certain areas, in certain regions, they definitely went with the more moderate looking in most respect, but the overall brand, it kind of mimics what they tried to do in 18. And I think they did it successfully, where they went and got a lot of these national security white women who are, indicative of the professional class. And we'll see if that, if that pays off in the end. Honestly, a lot of the radicals are going down. We'll see what happens with, El Said or whatever his name is in Michigan, which is August 4th. The primary is August 4th. But I am very reluctant to believe that Democrats are going to significantly kill their chances on some of these very important, battle for the control races like Michigan. We saw with Jones in Virginia in 2025. I mean, that guy wanted it. The text messages were unearthed that he was fantasizing and joking about killing his political opponent, the kids, which he sees on a daily basis almost when they're in session. It was just disgusting. But we'll see. we'll see, because I mean, they had no problem. They were, for a few weeks leading up into the race, they were telling us and other pollsters, I don't know, I'm undecided, maybe I won't vote. They were full of crap. They were full of it. And at the end of the day, they did vote, and they voted for Jones, and they elected a guy like that as the state's top cop. So I have a hard time believing, especially with the Muslim population, they will come out in force. The Arabs in Dearborn will come out in force in 26 in November. I just have a hard time believing that a guy who lied about being a doctor is somehow worse than a guy who is joking but serious about killing his political opponents after Trump was nearly assassinated twice and Charlie Kirk was killed. So these are not, people are living in another world. They're living in another reality. I think they're living in a world that they wish existed, but it doesn't. This is a dark world. This is a very partisan world. People will and Democrats especially, will overlook anything. They will overlook anything. And I just don't believe that some of those nominations are going to consider considerably or significantly buttress against the national mood that I'm seeing in these polls, guys. They're bad. All right. The 12th district, by the way, is another one I wanted to look at, only because this guy claimed, hold on, let's go do it. New Jersey's 12th district. Is it on the list over here? It is. All right. Yeah, of course he's out. He won. All right. So Adam Hamawai, whatever, he himself is not a veteran, but he got millions from what is it called? There's a veteran pack. It's a shadowy one too. You got a couple of packs in this race, like Real Change Pack. That was going after what's her name? Bennett. Right? Yeah, 650,000 or something like that. Yeah, and mailers and ads to oppose Bennett. Anyway, this dude is the dude who saved the life of now Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois. She was an Iraq vet, of course. She's endorsed him. So yeah, he ran away with it. American Priority supported him, which is a super PAC that supports progressive Democrats who oppose Israel. So the fact that he romped here is like, what? Yeah. He won, and he won comfortably. Yes, with only 27% of the vote, but he won comfortably. Yeah. So if I'm not explaining that right, this guy is absolutely anti-Israel. All right. Let's see what's going around in this race, because this race to me is a lot. All right, we still haven't gotten anything else in Muscatine. Have we? No. There's 20 votes, separated by 20 votes in Muscatine. Alamaki, Lon still leads. There's hardly anything in. No, it's 20. I mean, vote total. That's probably a fifth of what will be cast, but Albuquerque, it really hasn't changed. I mean, Albuquerque, Dubuque. If by some chance Finster was to lose Dubuque, he's in a lot of trouble. He's already in a lot of trouble. Don't get me wrong. He's already in a lot of trouble. Lon is apparently doing better in the election day vote. Please tell me you separated this. Oh, come on, guys. What about in a bigger one? Bear with me, guys. No. At least not yet. What about Polk? Polk's in, I believe. So if we look at Polk, maybe Woodbury. Holy crap. Oh, it moved, which means we got an update. I'll go look at it in a second. It got much closer. So something big came in for Finstra. Marshall Mills, I see that. Yeah. Look at those. That's a hefty margin. That's what happened. All right, but let me see Polk real quick and see if they distinguish between. They don't. So we're just not going to get that. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a big win for Finstra. He closed the gap considerably now. Webster, Clay, Cerro Gordo. Lon's going to need. See, he actually lost Woodbury when those election day votes came in. So Finstra did do better with those election day votes. I was going to say, if he starts losing counties like Woodbury and north to Sioux Falls, which is Lyon County, I mean, I don't know how he wins. even with Trump's endorsement. Like, that's where Trump's endorsement gives you strength. All right, here's another county for Lon. Let's see. Mahaska, it's close. And if he's losing election day vote that badly, of course, I can't tell that for sure. I'm just based off of what I'm seeing so far. That was election day vote that came in. So I put it up on locals, actually. Only, what was it, locals? It was not a lot of vote. As of Monday, I believe, Monday morning. No, as of the morning of May 29th, which I believe is the last update we got, 17,908 Republican ballots were collected, returned. So that's nothing. Roughly just under 199,000 votes were cast in the Republican primary in 2022. If they don't make that, Houston, we got a major problem. And I don't know. I don't know if we will make it. We'll see. As of right now, it's looking kind of grim. I mean, Fincher still has to catch up 1,400. He can do it if he wins all of, these Western counties and doesn't lose big ground in like Cedar Rapids. That's Lynn. You got Johnson here, Jones, Cedar. Trump's strength was these counties. If you want a list of all the pivot counties, when was the last time I gave that? It's been a long time, hasn't it been? Let me see. Let me see if I can get it for you guys. That's only 2008 to 2020, though. Yeah, that needs to be added. We need to add the other margins. But you know what? I'll zoom out and get it for you now so I can show you guys what they are. Come on. I thought I've done this before. I'm looking for the picture, too. I don't see it, unfortunately. I don't see it. All right. I could just do this and put it up on the screen. All right. Where are the swings? Oh, because the other ones aren't in there yet. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Where are you? Probably on the desktop instead of where it should be. Yep, there it is. I'll give you guys one. I got to finish this. And once I finish this, I'll give it to you guys. So there's the Iowa pivot county march. This is from 08 to 2020. But those are the 31 pivot counties from Alamaki, which is reporting some right now, to Worth County. You can see some of these margins. When I say Iowa swings, guys, in 08, I'm in a county like Worth County. Obama won it by over 20 points. I mean, 22.42. And then in 2020, Trump had won it by 25.87. Honestly, it would be more impressive if I were to add the other column. It would be. And it's not that it would, it would be, period. Because Trump, obviously, we got to add one to the left, insert one column to the left. Trump margin 2024. I'm going to get this for you guys. I'm definitely going to get you guys this entire thing so you can see it. Because it's very telling. All right, boom. Let's put it back. All right, Randy Fincher will catch him if he doesn't start winning some of these other counties. California's at 11 o'clock, guys. Yep, 11 o'clock. No bueno. No bueno. 11 o'clock Eastern time. Rich, more lashes for BB's bitch. Thanks, JP. I know it works now, don't I? You know what I mean? Yeah, Pratt is an interesting race. A lot of people are going to be interested in that. This is a problem for This is a problem for Lon. Okay, so these Trumper counties, these are like Trumper only counties. All right, you can see obviously from the thing I put up. Dubuque is a pivot county, right? Dubuque. 20.7 or 8. Obama won it by in 08. He still held on to it by 14.7 in 2012. Trump won it by 1.23 points. That's it in 2016. But then he won it by 2.9 in 2020. And actually, let's go to 24 Iowa president and let's go look at that margin. Look at what Trump won Dubuque by. So then he expanded it by 8.5. I mean, just a huge. You can see how this area, these pivot counties here, how these are just Trumpy. If you go and impose Obama's map, you'll see where the central to eastern part of the state, obviously there's Alamaki as well, but these are very swingy counties, guys. They will, move with the national. That's why the first district is hard for Republicans to hold in bad times. Trump wound up winning Union County by 31.6, by the way, after Obama carried it twice. And that's one county that almost didn't, but actually from 08 to 2012, Union County went more for Obama. It wasn't much. It was like a 0.17% shift, but it's still nonetheless, the whole country moved to the right. Reelected Obama, but moved to the right a lot. The state moved to the right by 6 points. And yet Union County did not. It moved to the left. And then Trump would come in 2016 after that happens and win it by 27.5%. 27.5 points. It's crazy. And then he won it by almost 32, just under 32 in 2020, excuse me. All right, let's go back. All right. Every time he goes to make a move, he gets caught a little bit and gets brought back. I mean, you got a little bit of this vote here and there but I suspect Johnson, if Johnson goes for Finstra, it's over. But I suspect Johnson will go for Lawn. He's doing well in areas that kind of match that same demographic. This is a little bit of a surprise to me and wouldn't surprise me at all if it flipped when election day votes came in. See, there's just nothing there. 21%. Well, Clinton is, though. Well, we'll have to see. Okay. So Lee is going for Finstra by, it's 10 votes. Small amount, but again, another Trump kind of only county. Other than that, New Jersey's over so fast. I mean, this is crazy to me. 29.66% estimated in with 50,000. So let's say 1/3 in. Oh, Republicans. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's not good. All right, so Josh Turek has won. Yeah, Turek has won. It's the right call. I don't know what they were waiting on, honestly. Oh, shit. Finster carried Crawford. I mean, Lawn carried Crawford and Carroll. Uh-oh. Okay, then he hasn't carried Carroll yet, but this could be a race. Oh, God, this is one of those Iowa maps that look like they could be a race, guys. He's now back up to a 5.28% lead. He's holding on. Is there any more in Alamaki? No. Oh, no way. He's winning Clinton now. What the fuck? Oh, it's a totally different part of the county. Oh, this is going to be a race. Oh, shit. Trump got in. Trump took a risk here. Oof. He took a risk. Better hope none of these counties flip too. That's why I was a little bit, I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised how strong Finstra performed even in the early vote in some of these other areas. That was the market that Zach Long was whacking him in. I mean, over and over and over again with these ads about how Finstra doesn't agree with Trump on some of these issues. Why? Because the truth is Trump is supporting a bunch of rhinos. And like Finstra, I heard by all accounts, is a nice guy, but he's a terrible campaigner. He's an absent congressman. And he just is. He's underwhelming. And the party's been like banging, like, yo, we need your endorsement. This guy's going to lose to this other businessman guy, that we don't really know. And they were panicking. They were having a heart attack over it. There are some of these ads, man, that I wish I could show you. But yeah, and then they hit back with this ad. So Zach Long goes after him, but it's like he doesn't agree with Trump on immigration. And it's true. He doesn't. Or at least what Trump initially, right, said he believed in. And then they hit back with Zach Long invested $1 million in a sex toy company. And at the time that Long had that company, it was about medical supplies. I'm not kidding. So it was a really dirty trick, but hey, that's politics. That's what people do. So Dallas is now going for Lawn too. I thought that was going for Finster before. I could be wrong. I could just be mistaken. Yes, this is going to be a race. If this keeps up, this is going to be a race. Especially if, well, now we have some more in Jackson. It's close, though. It's close. I mean, that's so close that the other side of the county could report their precincts and flip it easily if they're different, So the same thing with Dubuque right here. Look at that. I mean, that's close. It may look like a lot, 43.6 to 34.1, but it's not. not with more than half of the votes still out. And you only separated by 100 and roughly what? 130 ballpark? No, 140. Yeah. And change. All right. That's about 21 vote separation. This is probably going to be the most, outside of California, this will be the most interesting race of the night. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I just was talking to different people. I'm putting Clown up here too because this is a joke of a race. Randy Fincher had every advantage and should be winning this race easily. The fact that Zach Lawn is carrying some of the most important parts of the state in order to win Iowa tells me he should, if Republicans want to hold this governorship, and they're having a hard time in the Midwest right now, I don't care if people believe me or not. Everyone knows it. We talked about this all on What Are the Odds yesterday. It's why Mark Halperin said what he did. I mean, there are governorships and Senate seats that right now they're either down or at risk of losing that you would never expect. And if Zach Lawn is going to be the one who can carry everything from fucking Des Moines to Cedar Rapids, then it's probably the better idea to nominate Zach Lawn. Finstra is vanilla. He is like your typical, it's my turn. I deserve the endorsement because it's my turn. He's not MAGA. He's not exciting. And the campaign was run really, really bad. And if he loses, it's because of that. I mean, people have been like, yo, Randy, you going to show up to an event or no? He showed up to none of the debates. I mean, all he did was get that endorsement on May 29th and started blasting it out as many texts as he could. It was a digital ad. It was MAGA alert. President Trump has endorsed Randy Fincher because he knows he's MAGA. I mean, it's an underwhelming. I'll be right back. And you're a congressman. Hold on. Before I go, let me just say my piece. You're a congressman, dude. You should have a repertoire of shit that you could run on. I mean, this should not be hard. Probably being naughty. Why? I'm being a little naughty. I'm a little hungry. Being a little naughty. You gonna yell at me? What? The oven, honey. The oven, honey. Don't worry. It's just the oven. Just the oven. Don't worry. All right. Sorry, Laura's yelling at me for using stuff I shouldn't be using, which I'm not. Why is the refrigerator telling me to have a great night? All right, we're now down to 3.5 points because some other little counties came in. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, honestly, if Lom wants to hold his lead, he's got to win some of these. He's got to speckle around some of these other rural counties. And he's got to win other counties like Johnson by a significant amount. And he's not. Finstra is winning that, but we will see. Johnson is a bit. I'm shocked at that. The same way I was shocked that like Clinton came in for Finstra. I'm even wondering if there's some kind of a reporting issue, either with like even Dubuque surprised me a little bit, to be honest with you. But then again, Finstra's got back. He's got had higher name recognition, although higher negatives. We'll see if Trump's endorsement can change. I have seen it. Actually, I mean, I know that is the case. I have seen Trump's endorsement change people's negatives and change the lead, like change it up, period. The problem is every time Randy Fincher gets within 1,500 votes, something surprising happens. And that's going to become problematic for him if he doesn't start winning like some of these counties that he's lost, he really can't afford to lose. Unless he holds Johnson. I mean, we'll see, though. We shall see. I wonder, just out of curiosity, guys, I wonder if Carlin won any counties at all. He did not. He actually wound up. Yeah, Woodbury obviously had a reporting error, or DDHQ reported it wrong. That's all these votes. That's all the votes there were in some of this. Are you for Senate? For Senate, that's it. I mean, Carlin held his own basically in a lot of places, but he had, again, money is a very real thing. I don't want to take this time to bring up that there are lessons to be learned from people who want to try to take on establishment, well-funded, advantage candidates. There are lessons. You can't just do it the way that people think they can do it. It's not that simple. You have to find a wedge, and you have to exploit that wedge. You can't play by their rules or think you're going to outwork them alone and run. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Money's too much. Oh, shit. No shit. Audubon voted for Lon 48.2 to 35.2. Oh, my. Oh, my. And that's fully reported. It's staying roughly between 3 to 4 points. Okay, so now Carroll flipped to Finstra. That's some of that Trump election day vote. Question is that going to, why did that happen in Clinton? It's out of curiosity. I'm just being cautious because I'm wondering if there's some of these are reporting errors, Oh boy. See what I mean? He's every time something like this. Oh, it tightened a little. It tightened a little now. Hoaxon, Dallas is only 300. See, if I was Long, though, I'd want a bigger lead in Dallas. I feel like that's not enough. We'll see what happens. Boone Story has quite a few votes too. This entire area, this is the Des Moines area, and Marion, Jasper, Mahosco is going so far for Lawn. We'll see. There's a lot of votes here, guys. And right now, what's kind of saving Finstra, at least for the time being, and keeping it a close race, is that he's doing better in Cedar Rapids than I think some people expected. I think it's very clear, though, that JMC Analytics was right. Zach Long was ahead in this race. He was going to win this race without Trump's endorsement. Getting involved, Humboldt is fully in. It went for Lon by 4 votes. Holy shit, 38.3 to 37.8. Palo Alto is in. It went for Finstra, 40 to 33. About 60 vote netting him. Clay is not fully in yet, but it's going for Finstra. Neither is Cerro Gordo. He's got to hold on to Carroll. That's 8 votes right there. He's got to hold. Crawford's in. That's it. It went for Lawn. 42.4 to 26.2. That's what's keeping this like this. Now we're back up almost again to like a 2,000 vote lead. Oh my God, there it is. That's what I was waiting on. Okay, so the suburbs around Benton, that's 41% in. Let's wait. But if Lon does that, then yeah, because he's doing well enough in some of these other areas. It's not like he's getting totally blown out, okay, there you go. This has to be in the southeastern part where Des Moines is. That's in. Finstra carried it. Okay, he had to do that. And that's not a big turnout, though. That is not a lot of votes. That is not a lot of votes. He better pray he holds on to Johnson. He better pray, because if Johnson votes for Lon and this vote is dramatically different. Interesting how this race is shaping up, though. It's just interesting who's winning what. That's Iowa County's in. netted more than 2,000 votes in Iowa County alone. Jeez. That's why I'm looking at Johnson. I don't see how Finster holds on to this. If you know the demographics of these different counties, he's now up to almost a flat 4-point lead. It is a flat 4-point lead. If you know the demographics in these counties, I just don't see, guys. They changed the assumed vote. Did you see that? 3,600 votes. Randy Finster is in trouble. He is, because he's not winning uniformly outside of the major media markets. And if he was, that would be different. He'll rack it up. You'll see, like, look, what is this, about 170 votes here? He can rack it up, but he's got to perform better. Oh, man. Yeah, he's just got to perform better in some of these more central counties. Better hold on to Johnson. Clinton went back now to Lon. Dubuque is done, right? Isn't that done? Or no, did they? No, it's not. Oh, shit. That was reported. That's why they just adjusted it. Dubuque has more votes. Okay, so that was a little bit better now because Jones went for Finch. This is an interesting race, guys. Interesting race. Lynn is going for, Lon needs it to be more than that. He does. He just needs to be, it needs to be more than that. That's almost half the vote, too. A lot of people will vote early in these areas. He needs to win these areas by bigger vote margin. Because if Finstra does, let's say he wins 80% of the remaining rural counties, and he's winning them by, like that, those kind of margins, he'll catch up. He will. It's just it's the more vote comes in, it gets harder to do. That's the thing, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me go check on my oven. All right. Okay, I can see a little bit more red for Finster, which he needs. It'd be nice if that county moved a little bit. It would give me an idea. Just the fully reported counties are, oh boy, what did I miss? What did I just miss? We missed something. A little bit more came in. Closed the gap a little bit, 3,400. It's a close race. By all accounts, close race. Interesting, really interesting race. If you're in these campaigns, you're both on the edge of your seat. You assuredly have guys who are telling you this is the must need for us, that's the must need. A little bit surprised how. Wait a minute, 1 second. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm just a little bit surprised how quickly the Democratic Senate race went. Oh boy, now it's getting close. Yep, this is where, how do I put it? Almost like a caucus, Ooh, Muscatine went back. Okay. Dubuque chunked in a little 76. Come on, let's get the rest of that. You have to win like all of those major media market areas if you're going to lose all the rural counties. Because eventually they'll just overtake you. But turnout is bad, guys. It's bad. Oh, look. Walz has got one. I don't know if he's going to keep it. Johnson has been known to completely buck the rest of the state, though. That would be the county that did it. Damn, this guy's putting on a fucking show. Oh my God. He's definitely putting on a show. He's got to, I mean, honestly, it could end up not that close if they trade these counties, but I just don't expect that to happen. It could. It could. I've seen it before in this state. Just for the record, not with the Trump endorsement. I haven't seen them trade like that with the Trump endorsement. Okay. Getting a little closer to Sue. There it is. That is Sue. That's a good result for Finster. Is it enough? That depends how he does in the rest of the counties, but it is a good result. That's what you want to do. You got to close the gap here. You got to win the Sioux Falls area. You have to win Des Moines, which he did. Although I honestly, I was just going to go to it. That's only 11% though, but God, that looks like a margin. So we'll see. This is what Finster would have to do. It's going to get very, very close very soon. Unless, again, Johnson comes in and somehow it's overwhelmingly lawn. That would change it. What do I feel like I just missed something here? Nope, Carroll, that's in. Clay, that's Palo, same thing. Plymouth, Woodbury. Yeah, that's a good result for Finster. Now we're like 1,000 votes apart. 1,018 votes. Much closer race. Curious one. That's in. Dubuque is in. It's done. Jackson is it's about 70% in. That again, that's Trump's endorsement. It tells me he would have lost these counties if it wasn't for Trump. This is definitely the power of Trump's endorsement right here. Johnson, not so much. Finster is the rhino, so like he would win Johnson regardless. If he didn't, it would be a huge problem. Let me just read your stuff until then. It is Lane. Okay, appreciate that. Iowa voter in Polk County. It's pronounced as Lane. Okay, thank you. We debated that actually. I read a bad ad about him and stuff. I listened to a bad ad about him, but that was about it. I'm like, isn't that right? Apparently it is. Yeah, appreciate that. What issues should a candidate use to attract Gen X women? Oh, that's a good question. All of the research right now, ideas, suggest strongly that these women are this is cost of living for Gen X women right now. They're starting to get up, higher in age, and they don't want to have to put their whatever little extras they may have into everyday living. All right, the map is starting to make a little bit more sense to me now. All right. Businessman and farmer who spent in the major media markets, but didn't do the 99 round strategy, all 99s. And with the Trump endorsement, is going to probably fall shy. I would say running against it. Finster got enough of the word out. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If somebody like this, vanilla, and really terrible campaign like this, gets in trouble, gets the Trump endorsement, the question is, and I mean, the Trump people will ask you, what's your plan to be able to get the endorsement word out there? And they probably, look, they had like less than $120,000 left. They were probably like, we're going to use that to text everybody. And they used one of their already pre-existing ad slots. I watched the ad. But you got to do more. You have to win. You just can't. You can't get blown out in Sue, and which it looks like he might. That's got to be wrong. Just looking at it, it's just got to be wrong. All right. Apple News came in slightly for Lane. Okay. And then this is what? Finster indicator by. Oh, that's it? Huh. See, some of this stuff is just weird. Some of this stuff does signal it could really be back and forth in a very close race. Yeah, I already see what's happening here. It's close. By the time this is done, California is going to close. Iowa can be very slow. I remember in 2020 having the stomach liberals going on and on about how Biden was going to win Iowa. Ooh, Jasper goes for Lane, and that's about 300 votes. And Iowa, oh my God, look at Ohio too. It's like, oh Lord. Please count the votes so we don't have to listen to them anymore. What do you want? Huh? Who do you think is going to win, Winston? Red or yellow? 2 barks for red, 1 bark for yellow. Yeah, it looks like he crashed a little bit because of that. Those results in Jackson, and of course when Des Moines came in. Well, I haven't been watching some of the market movement, but I imagine Johnson, him leading in Johnson, if that flips, you'll see the markets move closer to Lane. But he never really got, what is that? Oh, that's old, though. Let's go check out the new. Let's go see how they are new. How are they reacting right now? Let's see. Iowa, governor winner, Democrat. There you are. Oh, yeah. Huh. Right now, Zach Lane is a 70% favorite. Finster is down 50 points. He's in trouble because he's switching. He doesn't have like a discernible base. Like every time you think, oh, okay, well, he's just going to run the table in these southern counties. Finster takes he loses like Appanus, or something. And there aren't that many. I mean, there are guys, but look at this. Look at, what is that? 38 votes, It's a close race, but if Lane starts winning some of these other rural counties all over, like speckled all over the place, Finster's in deep. He's going to be in deep crap. He already kind of is, honestly. You have to see the map break for him soon. You have to. I mean, yeah, Warren's not staying like that. It could, but I would kind of be shocked. Backyards matter, though. They do. They do. Oh, yeah. Oikos Fusion. Muscle plus digestive health support. 23 grams of protein. Thanks, baby. She probably fell asleep in front of the computer again. You there, sweetheart? You know what I just noticed? I think they will report the early vote. What is your problem? What is your issue, dog? Sorry. I'm blowing my nose. I can see the cameras. I see nothing. He probably senses something I can't. And Warren did, in fact, change. And now it is in Lane's camp by 10 votes. Holy shit. He's just doing really good around the Des Moines metro area. What's up? What's your problem? I see nothing. Chill out, dude. Whoa, you're killing me here. Chill out, little man. I just can't eat the way I used to. My wife made me this delicious, it was like a caprese salad, you know, with some basil but there was a lot of mozzarella in it. It's like, I just can't eat like that anymore. It's unbelievable. 1.13%. I mean, as of right now, that's pretty much the most interesting races right here. I mean, there of course are other things going on. It's just in New Jersey, and the big interesting one is basically over. Ryan Zinke's seat closed about 10 minutes ago. We could go look at that. It's the first district. It's open because Representative Ryan Zinke retired. It's a Trump plus 12 seat. Republicans are favored to hold it, but this is one of those areas where John Tester carried this county. Even Zinke won re-election pretty handily in even though in 24 it got closer. Trump won it by 12. Ryan Zinke only won it by 8. But John Tester carried this seat while he lost re-election. Okay. So it could be. You want to look at it? It's the first. We'll look at it right now while we wait. We're looking at a close race here. I just want to look at this map again real quick before I go. Lynn hasn't reported anymore. Fincher's keeping it pretty close in Lynn, and that's what he would need to do. And then run he can't look. Like, you see this? You see this? He can't have that. He can't have that. He's got to clear this start. He's got to start filling this map in with red, man. Right here, look at Clay. It fully reported, and Lon is gaining on election day in some of these areas. And Lane, he only wound up losing Clay by 7 votes. I mean, that's the only place where you see Fincher with a commanding lead right now is obviously outside of the Omaha area. That's pretty commanding. 17 points, pretty commanding. But like, look at this. And that's 11% in the early vote. I mean, he can net a lot of votes. It looks like they're holding back, to be honest with you. And he's holding his own in Johnson. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised by that. He is the establishment, kind of like Rhino candidate. They do good in those areas. It's the one county Nikki Haley won in the Iowa caucus, if you guys remember. Yes, I think that Lane was over. What is he on Kalshi right now? 74%. Look. Yeah, see, I think I agree with that. He's just winning in too many spotty areas. That can't happen. If you're going against an insurgent or an outsider candidate, and they can self fund, and you're just a lackluster vanilla dude, and actually you can see Lane's actually expanding his lead again. If you're doing that, you have to run the table somewhere. You have to have a base. And Fincher's doing well in some of these like Trumpy, more urban areas. He's doing better than I expected. In like, for instance, even in Lynn, I think he did better than expected. Benton, he's getting his ass kicked. That doesn't, yeah, that's not surprising. Clinton, it's a beating. It's a drumming. And by the way, they have more votes, so that's another 300 to net for Zach Lane. Like this is becoming, and all of these are reported. Almost all. Johnson looks like it actually closed, doesn't it? I keep note of that next time. It's about a 6.2 lead. Jefferson's. Like, I'm just going through. County Davis is done. So is Abenus. Okay, done. Ringgold. The problem is I'm not seeing like a clear base of support for Randy Fincher. Sioux Falls will be, I guess, maybe, this. The problem is you have to couple that with something else. And right now, what he's basically doing is coupling it with a stronger than expected showing in the Trumpy areas around Cedar Rapids, even though he's losing them. There's Fayette, 54% reported, about a 4-point lead for Lane. Oh, God. Lane just, it's all reported. Keokuk is all reported, 55.1 to 32.4 for Lane. Yeah, man. Randy Fincher's in deep shit. He's in deep shit. I just don't see where Omaha has it. Potawatomi. I think it's crazy. There's a lot of votes there. I feel like there's a reporting error, though. I really do. We'll see. And if it is, Randy Fincher's done. He's not going to catch up. That's all. That's it. I mean, he's not. These counties don't have a ton of votes in them. There are a few that still have. Obviously, we're waiting for Lyon. He has to win Lyon. He has to. But then he can't afford to trade. Like Winnebago can't go for Lane. Like that's what's going on here. Even in Floyd, look at that. He's only ahead by 1 vote in Floyd right now. He could wind up losing that. Butler, he is losing. More votes just came in Butler. Osceola is almost fully reported. That's Fincher by about 6 or about 5. 5. Clay is very close. That was 7 votes. That's done. Plymouth is almost done. And honestly, that's not as big of a lead as I expected. Sioux is almost totally in. He got 300 net votes. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Because there's so doubtful that he can just run the table on these rural counties. It's so that's in totally. And Lane carried Humboldt. Okay. And he's carrying Butler right now. Oh boy. There's Fayette for Lane. It's only 30 votes though. So it looks like a 5-point lead. It's not quite. It's just, that's what I'm talking about. You can't keep doing that. At some point you need to okay, it's an urban-rural divide. Let's block them out. That's not happening. So this thing hasn't been closer than 1.2 or 1.3, and then it's widened back out. Too many of these counties are light pink, and they're done too. Yeah, they're done. Look, I mean, you're netting 10 votes here, guys. It's just not what is it here? 2, not even 20, 15. So we'll call that 17. 20 more would be 45, 46. So 53, 63, and 4, 67. So just these 4 counties alone totally netted Fincher 67 votes. I mean, he's behind by now 1,000, almost 300 again. It's a heavy lift if you're not gonna. He's got Omaha area still. We'll see the Burbs. That's it for Mills, huh? Oh boy. I think the odds are probably a little bit, I don't know. Little too much, but little too built. 80% on Lane. You don't know that. I mean, some of these other counties can come in pretty heavily. Lopsided, I mean. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I saw that. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche told Congress today that Trump was dropping the Department of Justice anti-weaponization fund. It just blew up in their face. It basically became a slush fund. I mean, honestly, it's so disturbing to me. I honestly don't even want to talk about it. Let's just. Who's the real MAGA candidate in Iowa for governor, lawman? I mean, again, I could say what I want now. It's done. If I was voting in Iowa, I would have voted for Zach Lane. I would have. Hands down. Dude, Randy Fincher's like basically the example of what's wrong with us. He is. He is. Guy didn't even show up. He didn't even bother talking to the voters of Iowa. He just didn't give a shit. I don't vote. I don't go to Congress and vote. I'm absent. That's what he did. Polk is in. That is done. Dallas is in. That is done. Man, Lane won some chunks out of that shit. And then Benton, he took. I mean, that's why I'm like 413 vote net out of Benton. Yet it's just going to. Oh, okay. There you go. It's now Lane 35 to 31.8 for Finstra. But in Lynn, that is 300 votes almost. Or 200. Well, it's really like 220 if I do. Right? Yeah. But there's like 20. That's 80% estimated in. And we're now back almost to a 2-point lead for Zach Lane. See, the problem, just to show you guys real quick, the problem is you could get, a hollowed out kind of result in Iowa where, you win the Des Moines area, maybe somebody else, is going to take Sioux Falls and, the northwestern part of the state in general. And then you win the suburbs and the urban areas around Cedar Rapids. Typically, that person will win Des Moines too. That didn't happen because of Fincher's name and footprint. But then you basically, this one was a little bit, this is a little weird. So this is Trump. This is the power of the Trump endorsement. That's why it doesn't fit the normal bill. The Clinton even flipped back. So yeah, that's the power of the Trump endorsement. Those would have went for Zach Lane. At the very least, Clinton would have went for Zach Lane. Probably Jones too. Probably. Jackson and Dubuque went. This is Trump's endorsement. I'm telling you. But still, it wasn't enough. Here's Clayton. Came in 15 votes for Finstra. That's really close. It's not enough. You can even see now Floyd coming in for Lane by about 2 points. 7 points in Butler, which is almost done now, but it's just going to get very difficult. There's Pocahontas actually went to Lane. Holy shit, by 2 points. I did think that Pocahontas would go to Finstra. I was wrong. Buena Vista also went to Lane, 6 points, netted him 64 votes. 10 vote net in Cherokee. Lane, oh my God. See, that's not normally the way the map looks. Like pretty much maybe one oh my God, no fucking way. Plymouth is chunked in and went 2.5 points for Lane. Finstra's cooked. I don't know, guys. I think he's cooked. Wow. Wow. He's not. I mean, this is what happens when you don't work for it. This fucking guy. If I was Trump, I'd be so fucking mad at people right now. Oh my God. If I was Trump, I'd be furious. It does not look he's going. He's not going to be able to save him. Yeah, and it's now Zach Lane's. Now that flip in Plymouth shot Zach Lane's odds to 87%. Good with good reason. Oh my God, Delaware chunks in 53. Guys, this race, I don't. You can't. There's just no. I don't know how he catches up now. He's now in another 2,000 vote deficit. The problem is, let's say he consolidates the Southwest. Everything on the eastern board, which is like big part of the Pivot County area, Trumpy's area, the Trumpy area, it's just too pink. He's not netting enough out of it, all right? Just to speak in colors, he's simply not netting enough out. And if Sioux Falls is not over, which is like Lyon, right? if that's not overwhelmingly for Finstra, he has no chance. And even with this, I mean, we're now getting to a point where it's going to be hard for him to catch up. I can't believe this is happening. I mean, I guess I can. I just this should not. This race would have been without Trump getting involved. This race was over. Zach Lane was going to win this and win it overwhelming. Finster's only hope right here is that some of this is just bullshit reporting errors and that this is going to change. These are 95% in though. Okay, so there he goes. He made some gain here. That's it though. Lee is done. Lee is done, and it netted him 225 votes. Des Moines is done, and it netted him 202. I don't know where he's getting these votes from. All of this is done. Dubuque is done. Jones. He's holding his own in Johnson. That he's got 220 net votes. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's getting closer. It's now less than a point. See, what was that's 95. That's in. Okay, there's Sue. It's done now. It's done. Osceola is done. He netted. Okay. Yeah, see, this is better for him. Okay. Yeah, he needs to do like this kind of margin is better. It's still not overwhelming. It's not what you want to see, but it gives you a fighting chance. It may seem like it's close, but there you go. It just went it back to 1.31. Washington came in. Look at that fucking net. See, I don't know, guys. That's a 20-point net in Washington. Another, by the way, obviously, you know, it's like a wall. He's building a wall here. And what is this in? It is fully in. These are in. This is done. Yeah, okay. These are done. Mosca is just why is that taking forever? Warren. Did that get closer? I can't tell. Fayette is gone. It's only 30. I'm just doing some quick napkin math here, guys. I don't know, man. If you're Randy Fincher's campaign right now, you're very worried. You're very worried. Very worried. Because I don't know. I can see the South, the rest from Taylor and Page west. The problem is, like, look at Clark. You see others like there, these almost, and look, Warren still has vote out. There are like these almost, I don't want to call them outliers, but there are certain counties in certain parts of the state where, I mean, frankly, one candidate over the other is doing better. I can see, I could point to examples in both, but right now it looks like Zach Lane has more hands in the cookie jar. So he just has broader support, which means if you're Finstra's campaign, you can't count on what you need to happen, which is like, let's say he wins from Harrison around, I don't know about Guthrie is going to go to Lane at this. It looks more like Dallas than it does Shelby and Audubon. I thought Audubon was in. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken for something else. Cass, yeah, he could take that. Let's say he's from Page up. Taylor, I don't know. It's different. I don't know. That's the problem. You're now looking at this map and you're like, well, shit. I mean, chances are Poashek, Iowa, obviously. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. We're going to have to just wait. What a race, though. Holy crap. Interesting. I'd rather be Zach Lane. Because I'm looking around the map and I'm like, okay, I'm actually doing better with evangelicals than I thought I was going to, considering Trump's endorsement. I'm definitely doing better with like the more moderate Norwegians, and I'm holding my own with like Norwegian Catholics. And this, I'm actually really impressed. I gotta be honest. Not gonna lie, guys. I'm a little impressed. I don't get impressed easy. I am a little impressed. Trump's endorsement is very hard to fight. It just tells me that Zach Lane was going to win this race going away. The JMC analytics poll was right. They were right. It wasn't just like, oh, he's a few points ahead. The leaners were leaning to him. And what it's telling me is he's not blowing it away because some of those leaners obviously listen to Donald Trump. But had Donald Trump not gotten into this race, we would have been able to call this already. Potawatomi. Potawatomi. Well, how did I say it? Let's do it again. Let's try. Potawatomi. Or you're saying spread it out. Potawatomi. Like that. Say it like that. Okay. You ready? Potawatomi. How's that? Was that better? Potawatomi. Listen, I'm from the Northeast, man. Although I do love your state. I love when it's time for, I used to, guys, when I really was like green, not even green, but just younger, man, I used to love going around to all the caucuses and First in the Nation primary, First in the Nation. One of the coolest things ever was witnessing Trump win New Hampshire in 2016 in the primary. What did I just miss? Something else just came in. It was not good for Marshall. Marshall goes to Lane. Yeah, he's going to win all these. Story also has votes. And Lane's going to win Story. Fincher's in trouble, man. He in trouble, man. Guy's in trouble. Anyway, yeah, I mean, how Trump interacted with like the cops and the firemen. And there was a lot of magic back then. I mean, it was real. I don't know how the media misjudged it. I really don't. Obviously, you just didn't look at it for yourself. You didn't see for yourself. I don't know. But it was something else. And Appa News went for Lane. I got to tell you guys. Personally, I'm not saying it's like the responsible thing right now is to call it. I just think that Finch just up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. He's losing in too many places. If you're going to win, you have to you got it. First of all, you should have went from, all right, so you lose Lynn and Benton. Johnson was a surprise, actually. But you lose Lynn and Benton. You have to take Delaware. You could, I guess Alamaki I could see, but I don't, then from definitely Washington, maybe. Keokuk, no, you take that. Mahaska, you take that. Monroe, you take that. Appanus, yeah, you take that. I mean, you just shut them out until you get around the Des Moines media market. You're going to lose that too. There are some big ones. Story, Marshall, not so much. Story, Boone, Dallas, Polk, and Jasper, and then Warren. And sometimes people do throw Marion into that, but get some people throw Green and Guthrie into it too. I don't. Not in our polls. Not that I want to give that away, but when you see our polls like Iowa, the Des Moines media market, that'll be the region that we do. We typically are, I'll just say this. We're typically Story, Boone, Dallas, Polk, and Jasper. I think we do Warren too. I'd have to go and look it up. That's what logs are for, 2,300. I don't know, guys. That's a lot to make up. If you were dominant all through, like if there was an issue here and he really didn't lose from freaking Plymouth to Wright, and then you're like, all right, he's going to dominate, especially with the evangelicals. We haven't even gotten Lyon, and I don't think we got anything in Iowa County yet, did we? Nope. And that's why no one's calling it. There could be some big crazy mistake. There are a few counties that have quite a few votes quite a few votes left over. It's close enough you have to wait. But I'll tell you what, it's getting there. It's getting there. I won't ping them, but I guarantee if I was to and asked them, they're telling me they're waiting on 3 counties. And Finstra has to do better than expected in all 3. And he can't have one single oops. That's what I'm saying. I'd definitely rather be Zach Lane. You can't have one single mess. Oh, boy. That's another 20-point margin, which is he just was smart, man. He advertised in the media markets. He got his bang for his buck, and he knew he was going to get votes. And then he played in other parts. Very clearly, I can see a lot of Trump voters did not listen to Donald Trump. I'm being honest with you. That's legit. A lot of like Trump only too kind of Republicans did not listen to Donald Trump. And they did what they did. They said, I'm sorry, sir, but fuck Randy Finstra. Sorry. I don't mean to be crude, guys, but that's what happened. Shall I start reading the Trump only list? Look at Jasper alone. Look at Jasper alone. 4131. Netted Lane 300 votes. It's in. That is a Trumpy county. Barack Obama won it by 7.5. Barely lost any support from 08 to 12. And then Trump won it by 22 points. And then, like, no joke, like 30. That's a Trumpy county that doesn't like Republicans. Something about Trump that they liked, which I think we all know what his appeal was. Yeah, this is getting ugly now. And Boone is in. I'm not surprised he won. Boone, Warren, Guthrie is there. Yeah, these are all done though, so they're all counting and chunking and just giving us the number. He ended up carrying Carroll. He's going to take Marion too. We'll see what happens with Lucas. And Story's going to have a lot of votes. Marshall's close. It's 94% in. Excuse me. 46 votes separates them about 2 points. But that Jasper drumming, boy, is problematic. He said, you know what? I am going to take advantage of where I have home, where I have roots, and I have money, and I'm going to put my message out. And again, I just have to point out, because like when, Robert and I have been saying, they're in trouble with the governor's race in Iowa. They're in trouble with the governor's race in Ohio. They're in trouble with both Senate races. Like, obviously, others have polled it. I'm polled myself. But the Republican insiders themselves have been now for months since it started to become clear that Robert and I were right. Like, this is bad. The environment is bad. You're going to lose Trump plus 13.5, 14 states. Like, this is bad. That's when they started like kind of losing it. Like, who's this guy, Zach Lane? We didn't even know him. He's not one of us. Finstra, we got to get Finstra elected. We got to pull the freaking fire alarm here. Like, Finstra's not, we got a problem. There's a real problem here. It just took too long, I think. Woodbury's in. That was a good chunk for Finstra. Not surprised, though. You'd expect them to back their boy. Yeah, dude. I think that's probably about accurate. It doesn't look like a lot, guys. It's like just under 3,000 votes. 2.06 or just under 2.1. There you go. There's some vote chunk for Finstra. I'm just looking. It's just awfully pink, man. Awfully pink. And they're done. They're done. I mean, that netted him 8 votes. What helped him, so actually it netted him more than that, because what helped it, almost 200, is that Lane is doing so badly in some of those counties. All right. I mean, that's what, 8 votes in Clay. We saw that already, though. Palo Alto. Dickinson's new. There you go. He netted some there. I mean, they're really waiting. They're really waiting on Lyon to see if they can get close enough to have Lyon and Pato Wato. No, wait. Let's do it again. Go ahead. Let's go again. Where was it? Pato Wato. Hold on. What is it? Come on. Where'd you go? Where's my pronunciation guy? Come on, man. Where is it? What is it? There it is. Potawatomi. 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 Didn't I say that before? And then somebody was like, no, it's wrong. Potawatomi. That'd be funny, though. Thomas Massey wins the LA mayoral race as an independent. That's funny, Jacob. Yeah, that's true, though. Let's just put this up here. That's so true, dude. That's true. That's true. And by the way, he was born in Potawatomi, so all right, 1.8 though. It's still tough to close that from where you are. You got to like start running the table across all these things. I mean, definitely cannot lose Winnebago, man. What else we got here? Appaloosa is done. Wayne, that's 12 points basically. So it's like 11 and a half points. Monroe, that was in before? No. I think Monroe was, right? That's 27 net. Marion, I think, came in. That's 100 and almost that's 165 votes for Lane. And that's done, right? Yep, that's done. We have to see Story. Like he needs like Finstra needs like a shocker. Like he needs to take like Story County or something. And we're done with Johnson. Is that done? Not quite. Finstra netted 200 votes out of there. This is the you know, in every state there's a county that plays games. Johnson County is the game player. Hold on. I'll never forget 2024. Hold on. We need to find two more Democrats. And by the way, the woman you just nominated, Ashley Hinson, for the U.S. Senate, yeah, she did it. We need two more Democrats to register as a Republican to participate in the caucus right now so we can deny Donald Trump a complete 99 county sweep. And that's what they did. And then Donald Trump endorses Ashley Hinson. Loyalty. MAGA. All right, we're now down now to 2,600 votes. Again, still, Zach Lane is going away the favorite right now. He is. The story of the night is Randy Finstra is in deep shit. Randy Finstra is in deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo. Yeah. Yep. Now there's no runoff rule in Iowa. Nope. You can do it just like this. Just like this. Adam Steen has one county. Van Buren. But he's only netted, but still, Finstra's only netted 11 votes. That's how you would look at that. You don't look at Steen versus, Lane. It doesn't matter. How much is Finstra ahead? It's 11 votes. And it's nothing. Because that's what I was thinking too. Like there could be some counties where it's not even a matter of how good Finstra does. It's how bad Lane does against others. Sherman actually won these counties. You got to be kidding me. Brad Sherman won Kasuth. You got to be joking me, dude. You have got to be joking me. That's got to be an error. That can't be right. Then why isn't the county orange? Has to be an error. Mills, Fremont's all done. I mean, that's a nice chunk right there. We'll see what Harrison does. Shelby's going for Lane. No way. I don't see how this guy catches up. This is humiliating. It's humiliating. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but I kind of can't help myself. Listen, is something that just sucks when you know that you're the better candidate in the race. You know you mean better. And, what's going against you is that you have no party support. And you know that the base, like your message is catching on more with the base. And then Trump comes in because of whatever reason and gives his endorsement of the shitty candidate in the race. It sucks because you've worked so hard, and it's like, I hate to say it, but you certainly deserve to win that race. And the only reason why Trump is getting involved is because he's doing favors and deal making and back scratching and bullshit, and it's not good for MAGA. It's not the right call for America first. And yet it'll derail you. That's what I was wondering would happen or not here to Zach Lane. And it appears, regardless, let's say Andy Fincher was to somehow pull this off, which he's not been able to get really closer than like 2,500 in the margin at this point. It's close. It looks closer than it is, though. There's just, we're running out of places to get votes. He's got to do like stunningly better in somewhere, like Story or something, or Iowa's not in yet either. But oh yes, it is. Lane caught it. He got it. And Lane netted 169 technically votes out of Iowa County. Okay, well, that's the end of that potential. Like, there has to be somewhere that is representative of some other demographics where you're like, all right, you know, he'll do better. It looks like he's going to get shut out from one side of the media market to the other. And that is just, that's not typical when Trump comes down on you. But I'm telling you, it means Lane was winning this race by a lot. And it was more than the Republican establishment kept it under wraps and kept it very quiet. And they were, I'm telling you, they have been panicking now for months. And they really began to panic in like May. And was, you know, this became an effort to, Mike, we need the president to help us. Like, this is gonna end badly. We're gonna lose. So they knew. And you had Fincher's, look, the Fincher campaign, even when he was running for Congress, they're notorious for putting out these bullshit internal polls. I think last year, they put out last cycle, they put out an internal poll that showed that he was ahead by more than 50 points. And the other guy basically just gave up. Well, he actually only won by 20. And it was seen as potentially like a viable challenger, you know? So this time around, for a couple of times, they would try to share data and people were like, okay, yeah, whatever you say, you know, that's how it went. And for them to be starting to panic and you know, they're not out there pushing that kind of stuff. And instead they're trying to get a meeting with the president or get a hold of the president. Like, look, you know, and the president's reaction, rightfully, she was like, well, okay, well, where you been, man? Like, where the fuck you been? Do you vote anymore? I mean, can I count on you for Save Act? Like, I fill me in because I honestly can't remember who you are. Oh boy. Oh boy. Jeez. See what Harrison does. Interesting. Yeah, we need Story. It's just so close. So they're going to hold off for a while because it is still so close. But honestly, we're getting to a point now where we just Pato wata me. That's got to be wrong, man. But we'll see. Just because Shelby is, well, maybe not. Could be the northern parts, the county. Just overcame the southern. That's almost assured what happened. But you might notice, okay, let me put it like this. You might notice like Lane has some dark colored tiles in multiple regions of the state. Does that make sense? There are technically for Fincher too, that's true. Southwest, he's got one in Lee, right? And then you know, small Chickasaw. It's actually smaller, not. It's netting him 102 votes. But I don't know, man. It's a lot of light ass pink tiles. A lot of light pink tiles. Come on, Lion, by the way. Let's get Sioux Falls in here, please. Everyone's waiting on that and Story. That's what everyone's waiting on, that and Story. Can we please hurry up? We're now to 3,000 votes, 3,001 vote. So it's not just, you know, 1.8. You can't really look at it like that anymore. We're at almost 80% estimated in. You got to start winning some margins. You got to have a surprise. Again, what kind of surprise? Like, I don't know, Story goes for Fincher, which if you can see the entire Des Moines media market there, Zach Lane is crushing it. What an interesting race. And we had 13 minutes until California. Wow. Holy moly. Holy moly. Incredible. What a race. What a race. Randy's probably sitting around right now. What the happened? Well, I mean, I could tell you if you want, Randy. Like, all right, there we go. There's some more votes coming in. I mean, and it would tighten it too until like if Story comes in big for Lane, it will stretch out again and it'll just be kind of a moot point. We'll see. I mean, you're sitting there right now and you're like, I could make this up with that one, with the rest of what's in that county. I mean, technically, I just am really suspect of that. There's been, in case you guys didn't notice, there's been some pretty big reporting errors that were corrected. That's it. That chunk was Cerro Gordo, and it's about 352, right? Yep. 352 votes. 452 votes, excuse me. That was good. That's a good chunk. It's just we're running out of those. We're running out of those, folks, you know. And that's all for Iowa County. That's it. I mean, just peg between Marshall and Boone. One is a significant edge. The other Story, though, is more. There's a lot of Northern Poke. Looks like Southern Story. That's all I'm saying. Man, wow. Wow. I believe this happened. Oh my God. No fucking way. No way. No shit. Well, that's a problem. And it's almost completely in. Oh, man. Wow. What a race. This is fun, isn't it? This is fun. And currently on Kalshi, dude's at a 98% favorite. Yep. I mean, Jesus. 96 it says here, but I just looked on Kalshi, it says 98. But again, I mean, markets can be wrong. One hiccup from one county and it would be wrong, you know. But let's look at that's probably market. That's why, yeah. See if you go to Kalshi, you'll see he's at 98. Sorry, my fault. It was right. No, I didn't bet tonight. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But locals, I gave you a little hint, didn't I? Didn't I? I gave you a little hint. I just had a feeling it was too late, you know, and would Mark Mitchell qualify as a political prisoner? Yeah, Kiki Blue said, I just read Zach Lane's website and the historical timeline is outstanding. Does Trump's endorsement team even read these websites before they back their cronies? They should have backed Lane. Great history. Right? I mean, I'm telling you, man. Yes, I'll be able to I'll send out the Minnesota Senate poll. It would, what's his name was not up, just to give you an idea here. Let me I can show you the raw of it right now. I'll give you the results of the raw right now. Stand by. I'll give it to you live. And actually, I'll tell you right now, the raw doesn't change after waiting that much. Of course, waiting does change it, but the leaderboard does not switch up. You're probably not going to like it either. Just giving you a bit of a heads up. Who the hell's logged in on my thing? It says someone's logged in. What the hell? All right, 1,236 results. It was. And by the way, we did the general electorate too, and the recalled vote's almost perfect. Lindell leading. There it is. All right. Tafoya was ahead. Quite a bit. Tafoya's ahead by about 15 points. And, I don't know if much has changed since then, but yeah. There was a lot of undecided. About a third still was undecided. But Michelle Tafoya was up. Rice White was second. Okay, their story. That's not as much for Lane as he might have hoped for or wanted, but it's enough. I mean, as of right now, it will be enough. It could be a little bit closer, because you wanted definitely more than that. And look, Marion came in. Marion only gave him what, 165 net. I mean, it's still more than nothing. Finstra got Ringgold. It's just, man, these are, the indicator was very close. I don't know. I'm trying to be fair to Finstra here and find a path for him. It's just, it's getting tough. Cedar going was a problem. Scott is a big county, and with Cedar going, and look, Finstra was ahead by what? Less than 200 votes in Clinton. Muscatine went back and forth like 8 times. I don't even know what to believe anymore, but let's call it 60 votes for Finstra. Me and Scott may not be as pro Finstra as he needs it to be, but he needs to do more than that at this point. He just does. What's remaining, he needs to have a somewhat decisive advantage, because let's say he wins, Scott, and it nets him a couple hundred votes. What's outstanding needs to be so much, because there still is more Lane vote out there, and it needs to be so much more deciding that, I mean, guys, we're only at, let me count. Oh, and Sioux City, right? There's Lion and Scott. So now that we got Story, oh shit, O'Brien went to Lane. Oh my God, that's bad. Because he's like boxing him in. Osceola wasn't even that pro Finstra. 5 points, and then Sue is 6, 7 points. Let's be fair. Let's be nice. But below in Plymouth, it went for Lane. Next to east of that, O'Brien, it went for Lane. So like, and Clay only went for Finstra by like 7 votes. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's like concentrated evangelical pockets there. They will vote with Trump. The question is by how much. And I maintain that there's something wrong with this fucking margin. I'm sorry. That's just weird to me. Which is why I want to see Harrison, because it can help to off. Let's say, this is true, and he netted 300 votes. That was early vote, and it's not going to be the same. It could be he could clobber Lane there, and that would erase like almost half of his edge. But there's more Lane vote out, so it's like he has to do even better than that. He really does. It's getting really tough. This is a hell of a race, really hell of a race. 5 minutes till polls close. Unbelievable. Sorry, I'm just teeing up my things, because I think at some point we're going to get kind of close here. Man, this was like once in a while. You just get caught with your pants down. Oh, man. This is crazy. It's still 1.84. And that's just it. They're just dealing with such counties with such littler vote shares that. Then again, if I was Lane, I would have liked to perform a little closer to Benton and Lynn than I did. But now Johnson is in. It's done. It netted less than 200 votes for Finstra. And Cedar just at 93% in. The fact Finstra doesn't have a lead is ouch. And then like O'Brien, he just netted as much as like one of these chunkins in Omaha, the burbs. Let's see. Mills is done. Okay, what was that? I think we missed something. Winnebago, 95% in, went to Lane, 41.1 to 39.2, netting him about 32 votes. Oh my God, holy crap, yo. And something else just chunked in too. I didn't see it, but I saw the vote share change, and I saw the lead go from 1.81 to 1.84. So what am I missing here? Nope, wasn't Cedar. What was that? Son of a gun, I missed it. I'm usually very good at seeing it. Monona. Maybe it was that. Oh, it was Harrison. And it went for Lane. Netting him 32 votes. 43.1 to 41.1. Oh, my God. Just to catch a sitting congressman who is Trump endorsed with his pants down like this is just wow. Question is, will we surpass the 22 primary turnout? Let's go to real quick. I just want to see something, guys. Looking at about 182,000 counted there so far. Okay. Thank God. Because it would have just been totally humiliating. It's still humiliating because it's so damn close. This is ridiculous. Republicans, they're just not voting. I mean, it's not comparably to what Democrats are doing. And what Democrats are doing is really amazing. I'm about to go to the New York Times real quick and just see something. I don't believe this for a second. I just don't. Okay. I just don't believe it. I feel like something's wrong here. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, so Finstra is going to close the gap here when Potawatomi comes in. That's more like it. It's really Randy Finstra, 54 to 24 to Zach Lane. This is, again, Finstra's stomping ground. So he's going to win it 3,085 votes to 1,344. The problem is, okay, what just happened here? Okay, so it looks like more from Page, Randy, Finstra. I'm going to have to, oh no, it came in. Okay, did this not come in yet? Okay, this should be like 3,000 and change at this point, and it's not. So let me refresh the page. But Delaware's going for Lane. That, we already have. I'm looking to see if there's anything I'm missing. We really do need to see Scott County, which is where Davenport is. It's just Lane is just cleaning up in the media market. Where Sioux City, Woodbury, Finstra, that's almost in, though. That's almost in. That's why Lyon is okay. It's getting very close now because you're seeing some of these other counties come. Okay, so Scott went for Finstra by a little less, about 462 votes, 4136, and it brought the race within 1,000, almost 200 votes. It's close, but we're only getting to the point where we have O'Brien. They're not showing, but we have O'Brien over here. So we know O'Brien's going to go for Lane, right? Is that in? Yeah, O'Brien's going to go for Lane. So we need Lyon and Taylor, right? Okay, because Adams and Montgomery. Yeah, we don't have Adams and Montgomery either. Okay, so that's what we're missing. We're missing Lyon. We're missing Montgomery, Adams, and Taylor. And even though, okay, there you go. See now, Scott is in. That's it. It's done. So that netted Finstra 500 votes or so. This is wrong. All right. This is totally wrong. And that's why there's still a 3,000 vote separation between them. Also, Monroe County is going to go to Zach Lane. It will go to, it's over, I believe. Yes, it'll go to Zach Lane 4137, and that'll net him about 27 votes. Jefferson will also go for Zach Lane 41-37. That'll net him 42 votes. So really the only thing we don't have is Taylor, Adams, Montgomery, O'Brien we have on our side, and Lyon. It will make it very close. When all of that is said and done, it is about 0.6% lead for Zach Lane. This is going to be a very, very close race. Randy Finstra is definitely going to ask for, oh man, there it is. And Lane carries Lyon. Oh boy. Guys, I don't know. I think this race is over. He's waiting on what Potawatomi has left. I just don't think they have enough. And Cedar still has some votes. So they're waiting for like some of these. Dubuque still says they have some. I don't know how much more. No, I think they're wrong over there. I think they're wrong. I think that's about it. Okay, so now we are getting these things to fill in. Greene County, another one. We don't have Greene. All right. We have Lyon. We do have O'Brien. And O'Brien's going to go to Lane. Okay. So I think, honestly, Decision Desk is probably getting a little bit closer than Wapello. They don't have on Decision Desk. Wapello is going to go to Finstra. But it's going to net him only 24 votes. That's it. There was just another chunk after was it some of Osceola? No. It was some in Lyon, the rest of Lyon. It gave Finstra like a 0.1% boost, and actually Adam Stein 0.2, Adam Stein at 0.2, however you say it. And Finstra actually went nowhere. All right. So Greene, which by the way, Greene is surrounded mostly by counties that went for it's a rural county, but mostly counties that went for Zach Lane. But Calhoun and Webster to the north did go for Finstra. So it could be interesting to watch. Alamaki went back to, yeah, it did. I don't know, guys. I mean, it looks close on paper, but I just did some quick math, and it's like almost 1,000. It's 1,390 with O'Brien, right? Did you get O'Brien? Yeah, 1,390 votes almost. No, it's more up again now. It's up again. I don't know what came in, but something just changed. I don't know. You can't catch him. What a close race. I mean, that's what 207,800 votes. Okay, 823. So I have a little bit more than this combined. Where am I getting that from? Boone. There's more in Boone. Oh, no, it's not. That's Greene. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. It's Wapello. So it gives Finstra a little bit more. Wapello is not in on here on the screen, but it's going to go for Finstra. It's going to go, not a lot, though. It's going to net him 24 votes. It will be 37.7 to 36.4. And then Adams went to Zach Lane. Did you guys see that? Yeah, it's over here. Adams went to Zach Lane. Oof. I don't know, guys. Close ass race. We know what O'Brien is. They don't over there. Everybody's waiting on Greene and Lucas. Surrounded, though. Lucas is surrounded by lane areas. It would be... Oof. Wow, Finstra, you fucking bombed this, bro. You fucking bombed it. All right. Let me just go in. I can come back, guys. Let me just see... Governor, we got Becerra's ahead for governor. I know you guys want to see the mayoral race too. There's almost nothing here. Hilton is in second. Steve Hilton. This is nothing though. This is just a Solano outside of Sacramento. Napa. Hilton's winning. Yeah. I'm telling you, you got to wait for the entire Los Angeles area to start filling out before you can really. There's so many votes there. Just so many votes. Nothing's out of Los Angeles yet. We'll go back there in a second, okay? Just looking to see what else I can do. Nothing. All right, let's go back. Ooh, looks like it closed a little bit. It's still, man, it's still a lot of votes that you got to try to catch, and I just don't see it. Green, we'll wait around for that. The fact Adams kind of, you can see it's starting to get further and further, much, more and more. The western you get, the farther southwest you get, the more Finstra it gets. So that could bode well for him and Taylor and Montgomery. But Pello should have filled in by now. That will go for, like I said, for Finstra. Lucas is probably not going to go well for Finstra. Yeah, Taylor went for Finstra. Not a lot. 5 votes it netted him, 39.3 to 38.4. That leaves Montgomery, guys. Oh, you saw it. It filled in as I was here. There it is. 5 votes, literally. Someone's going to ask for a recount here. Waste money. Waste time. Because I just don't see how you're going to make this up. It's not like it's close, but vote-wise for Iowa, there has to be some kind of major mistake to make up, 1,600 votes. Like that's a lot, guys. That's a lot. And there is still votes out. There is still some out. I don't think there's enough for Randy Finstra to win this. I don't. And for those of you watching the New York Times, again, I don't know why they don't have O'Brien filled in, but O'Brien actually did. The returns for O'Brien are right there. 43.7 to 35.8 in favor of Lane. He won it, netting about 130 votes. Not about. It looks like 130 votes on the dot. So, and also Wapello is in. I don't know why it's not in there. Okay, so what was that? We missed something here. Something just changed. I don't know what it was. Something changed. Something filled in more. It may have been Wayne. It may have been the rest of Wayne. But even though it's less than a point, it's very difficult to make up. Once Finstra lost Lyon, I mean, he needed to net like 200 votes out of Lyon. I guess looking at it, it's not that surprising that Wapello went for Finstra. It was very close. All right, Scott City netted him 456 votes. Yeah. And there's more out there. That's why they're waiting. But I don't know. They said that. I don't think there's that much, man. No. We can look at the estimated remaining here. Let me look at Scott, for instance. No, there's not. The New York Times does this a lot. I see what you're looking at, but the New York Times does it a lot. They overestimate what's left. They do. Quite a bit. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, sometimes Decision Desk farts big time, but Lucas come in? No. So we're waiting on Lucas. We're waiting on Green. And we're waiting on Montgomery. And no, that's right. We got O'Brien. That's it. So we're waiting on Green, Montgomery, Lucas, and that's it. Because Wapello is in. Okay, so Green, Montgomery, and Lucas. Lapello is done. I don't know why it's not showing it, but it is. It is 24 vote net for Finstra. It's not enough. 37.7 to 36.4. Exact Lane's got this. Close race, but I think he's got it. Unless there's some major mistake somewhere. It's done. All right, let's go back to California real quick. Actually, I do need another X tab. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. A hell of a race. Ken Calvert is in a very close race with Young Kim in California's House 40 primary. Wow. And I know I'm just sitting here. Hold on. California House 40. Look at this. Look at that. We'll see what happens in Riverside, but Calvert's actually leading in orange. I'm actually surprised it can. I mean, so you know, guys know how it is. It's a jungle primary. I'm actually surprised they're that close, and I'm also a little bit surprised that Trump didn't get involved with this race. All right. Just looking to see if we got anything else in here. Why am I okay? No, I thought I had a brain fart for a second. Okay. What else? Let's see what else is going on. Let's look at the governor. Hilton's ahead, but that's how things come in. You know, Fresno, Madera, these are Republican areas in the Central Valley now. Merced is kind of Republican, Stanislaus. I mean, Republicans have been underperforming Trump in these areas badly. And this is like Madera. There you go. There's Inyo. Hilton's up 4.92. Amador, not surprised. Where is Chad Bianco? All the way down there. No shit. So with Chad Bianco's vote share, Republicans still lose. I'm just kidding. I mean, this is true though. The minute look at the candidates on this ballot. This is why polling California is a pain in the ass, because we do real ballots, guys. Like, I mean, I don't like to throw people off ballots like that. I don't. We got some of San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Javier Becerra is ahead, 29. Steyer, third. Laurel, be pleased to hear that Steyer is probably going to get boxed out. She can't stand the guy. Look at Orange County, man. Once upon a time, a Republican bastion. No mo. Chad Bianco takes Lassen. Oh, that's now this is where it can get a little hairy, guys. Because I mean, I'm thinking they're probably going to not wait that long on that one, but Gregory Hull has won the New Mexico Republican primary for governor. That's pretty easy. The Iowa governor's race is the race tonight. Dave Dawson will be the Democrats' nominee in Iowa 4. A lot of slow calls tonight. Oh, except for New Jersey with the Democrats. Jesus. That was fast. All right, let's go back. I mean, we got some time to wait for California. I hate to say it, but we do. Calvert now barely up, probably because what's it called came in. No, it's just not close. Okay. And let's go back to Iowa Gov. We're still looking at, Lane is, again, Wapello is in. I don't know what they're doing here. I don't know, Finster. I think you lost, bro. I got to tell you. I think you lost, bro. I'm going to open another thing so I can move around. I just want to keep an eye on that. That is like a textbook example, ladies and gentlemen, of thinking you're entitled to something and sitting on your ass, and that's it, Oh, Walls did take Johnson, Cedar, and Louisa. Still waiting on Green there, Montgomery there, Lucas there. And I don't know why Decision Desk does not have Wapello. I don't understand. Okay. Just Lucas then. Nope, still Montgomery. It's just extra vote share coming in. Yeah. Lynn. Why did Lynn have? Well, I guess they did have some more. It's like Shelby's done now. This is crazy. What a crazy race. What a crazy race. At some point, they're going to wind up calling this, though. So, I mean, I don't know. They're going to hold on? I don't think so. All right. Let's go back. LA mayor. Nothing yet. I thought I just saw results. I know the mayoral race is important, you guys. No, I guess we didn't, right? So when we get some California governor, see what I mean? Hilton definitely, if he stays in the top 2, he'll be second, because that's it. There's just so much vote, guys. In Los Angeles is so much vote there. It's disgusting. It's tough, you know. All right, Steyer's on the board. San Benito. Oh, he won every vote? That's amazing. Incredible feat, truly. Who the fuck buys that? All right. I don't know. I think at some point, guys, I know you give the incumbent, not incumbent, but I understand you give the sitting congressman their due, but the problem is that there's just not enough votes remaining. I mean, can I see how much? What do we think is remaining? There's 416 votes in Cass. Right now, Finster's winning at 9.4. 78 votes in Adams. Lane is winning it by 11. Finster's by less than a point is winning Taylor, and there's 114 votes remaining. Woodbury is where Finster has the biggest margin, probably of what's left. 138 is left. He's winning it by 15 points. All right, looks like we just lost some more of that vote. So something just got reported. Montgomery, which is even. There's 773 left. There is votes still in. Oh, no, Wapella's done. It's done. I'm telling you. And Green, 709. We don't know what's remaining. Cedar, Lane is ahead now in Cedar. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was. And there's votes still outstanding there. I know I'm letting California sit and marinate because it looks like it's getting close. Oh, no, that's Orange County. I'm waiting for LA vote to come in so we can look at the mayoral race. But in the meantime, 74 votes left in Mitchell, where, there goes some more. They're pulling what's remaining off the board. We're starting to get an idea of what's outstanding better. And Winnebago, where Finster's winning by 14 points, Becerra just took the lead. That's because there you go. And Steyer's in second. See, I actually thought Villagrosa would be a pain in their ass in Los Angeles. That's a lot of vote. All right, let's go take a look. With 42% in, let's go take a look at the mayoral. Nothing? How could there be nothing? Oh, there we go. Karen Bass, 38. Spencer Pratt, 29.5. Ooh. But then, I mean, look. There's the top two Democrats. You got Karen Bass, who's the incumbent. Nithya Raman is the runner-up that was in all the Twitter fights with Pratt and his team, a lot of them. And, you just add together their votes, guys, and it's such a daunting task, That's why, look, this is a big part of why I say, like, a return to republicanism, like Bushism, is a disaster for Republicans. They lose all of their urban support. They go back to the 20s. It's like, Trump 35% in Wayne County, Mitt Romney in the fucking 20s, like Mitt Romney, 32% in Allegheny, if he's lucky, 30%, roughly. Donald Trump, 42. Mitt Romney, 9% in Philadelphia. Donald Trump, 13 to 18. I mean, it matters. It's a lot. That's a lot of vote. And Republicans, the Rhino, they just gave up on that shit. That's what was so beautiful about the 24 coalition. It was. Pratt made a hell of a race, though, huh? The Riverside portion of California 40 is more Democratic, yes, but still, is it so Democratic that they can prevent both Ken Calvert and Young Kim from getting in the top two? I don't think so. That'll be a tough race, too, in the fall. Very tough. I know it's like Republicans could lose every damn seat in California, dude. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. Toby Dyden or Doden, whatever. That will be your next gubernatorial candidate from South Dakota, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm not talking about whether some of these people are nice or not. I'm just saying that there's just some real dull shit, man. Trump has thoroughly establishment-fied this fucking party, without a doubt. All right, let's re-up on the API, please. There's no way these can't. There still are. Those 3 counties are still out. Woodbury's in. That's Randy's best, and there's just not anything left. Scott is in. That's it. I told you. They updated it. They were wrong. Decision Desk was right. That's it. Which leaves Finch just shy, more than 1,600 votes. I just don't see where the fuck he gets it. And have they given Wapello to him yet? They haven't. I just don't see where on earth he's going to get this. I just don't see it. I really don't, guys. I think this race is over. I'll be nice and we'll wait, but let's go look at the California gubernatorial election. Becerra plus 1.5. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Steyer's hurting him in some of these Democratic areas. Steyer's hurting Becerra, but I understand why Chad Bianco stayed in the race. I do. It's like, who the hell are you, dude? You were like a TV guy on Fox News. Like, who gives a shit? And you got an accent. It's not even American. Like, I get it. I get the argument of Bianco's supporters. Like, why? Why do we have to give up? Why? Because Donald Trump said so? Like, I get it. I really get it. There's a lot of people who are over the shit, contrary to the media narrative you've been hearing for so long, guys. It's not everywhere. And if Bianco is going to be public enemy number 1 in Republican circles if Tom Steyer is somehow able to pull ahead of Steve Hilton, which I'm still very, there's a lot of vote in Los Angeles, but Hilton is not that far from Steyer. It's like Becerra doing so well in Los Angeles is a problem. I'm curious how Villagrosa is doing in LA. Let's there it is. You don't open up and show me? That sucks. Okay. Obviously, Villagrosa was Mayor Villagrosa in Los Angeles. His kind of home base appeal was helping us dramatically in 18. Again, it doesn't matter anyway. Trump killed us, along with the chance to generate base turnout. Watch that thing, man. Travis had that. He had it. Not only did he have it, but because Democrats were splitting their vote, Travis was going to end in first place. And then Trump's endorsement in favor of John Cox, the most pathetic, uninspiring candidate ever, just fucking killed everything, man. It just killed everything. And watched the guy crater over 72 hours in a tracking pole. It was so sad. Especially because the atmosphere was so jubilant. Like, holy shit. We're actually, because they called him the little Trump. And, he wore it as a badge of honor. He was definitely the Trumpier Florida. They called him the Trump of California, or California's Trump. He was hardcore on immigration. He was the candidate. He was. And, well, you know the rest. And Trump came in and stepped all over it. All right, it looks like Iowa's basically done. These counties just don't want to answer anybody. Greene, Montgomery, and Lucas County. They're just issues, and it could be a bit. The thing that's saving Steve Hilton right now is that Steyer and Hilton, Steyer is not performing that much better than Hilton in Los Angeles. And in fact, if you look around, even in the parts closer to the Bay Area, there, Yeah, it's 3,000 votes, though. I mean, you really got to. Alameda. That's the one place. Not shocked. But even in San Mateo, heavily Democrat, obviously. Heavily, they're just splitting their vote too much. If Eric Swalwell was still in this race, Democrats are going to have a huge problem, which is why they had to murk him. That's why they had to get him out. They had to get him out. All right, let's go to the California. Let's go to the LA mayor race. Did they call this? Ooh, she's at 38. Pratt at 38. I know there's some people concerned about their polling in this race. It's a mayoral race. Don't, be too hard on yourself. What's that company? PRRI or something? Looks like they did pretty good, actually. Jesus, 11:30. So much for that, right? Ha! And I'm not even going to get to call. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to call either one of these races, which is just ass. I mean, again, Montgomery's even. 773 votes, and Green is 709. Oh my God, they just put Fayette actually said, no, we got about 79 votes remaining. Lean is winning Fayette, but by barely. Cedar's got 104, same situation there. Jefferson's got 190 left. Oh, man. Okay. What? Decision desk is Wapello going for. The New York Times may have an issue. I don't know. We'll see. They may have. There's been some issues. Nah, Finstra's doing better than there. Oh, there it is. Finally got. No, we didn't. The hell am I talking about? They just finally got O'Brien, I guess. I just don't see where he's coming up with this. It's still 1,600 votes. Like, there's no way he's coming up with this. I get being nice, and I get being, cautious, but there's 2 counties now left that aren't reporting. That's it. And they sure as hell don't have the votes to do. They just don't. Montgomery will be probably more favorable to Finster than Green, I would imagine. But if you look and see, yeah, there's still a couple hundred votes. It's not enough. There's just not enough. Literally, if you want every vote estimated to be outstanding, outside of the 2 counties we don't know about, he still wouldn't get close enough for what is expected to be in those counties. I just think this race is over. It's like mathematically impossible. Can we just call this? I don't want them to get mad at me, but this thing is over. All right. LA reports slowly, very slowly. All right. Now the more red counties are coming in. Hilton has an almost about 180,000 vote lead or so, and something like that. Over on Steyer. Yeah, there's going to be some more blue. Sacramento came in, and Hilton's actually in second in Sacramento. Oh, Jesus, bro. It's just gonna be tough for Steyer to catch him unless Los Angeles is so lopsided. Oh my God, Riverside went for Bianco. Oof. I like the guy, and if something happens here and he's blamed for Republicans not getting in the top 2, he's going to be hated, boy. And I just don't think that's fair. I don't. It's going to be tough to bump Hilton out, though. It is. I got news for you. It's going to be tough. And even we'll see what's left in Los Angeles, but even like, if the early vote looks significantly different than the election day vote, Becerra's going to be trying to hold on himself. I mean, they're just splitting so much of the vote. Look at Contra Costa. It's 12,000 votes. That's 12,000 votes. It's about same. Oh, no, that's 3,000 votes. Oof. And then in Sonoma, I mean, you'd want all that shit if you're Becerra. Steyer's in your way, you know. Oof, that's interesting. Los Angeles hasn't moved. Nope. When Los Angeles comes in some more, I'll look at it. But I'm curious about this Calvert Young Kim race. Calvert is now ahead pretty significantly. That Riverside came in. Oh, shit. So much for Riverside being, well, what are we at? Yeah, about half the same amount. Wow. What happened there? That's supposed to be more Democratic. We'll see how the rest of the vote comes in, but wow. I don't know why this race isn't being called. I'll be honest with you guys. I just don't. There was just another chunk in Iowa, and it looks like it shaved like another 0.2 off of Finstra. Madison went for Zach Lane. All right, Calvert has won. They called it for Ken Calvert. All right, Ken Calvert advances. Let's go ahead and take that. Race call, Ken Calvert advances. There we go. Woo. All right. What a interesting race. I guess they're going to give her the battle. She's 4 points behind. I like King Calvert better than I like Young Kim. 100%. Not even close. He's, I don't know, he's like more legit, you know? All right, I gotta make it so only. Yeah, guys, I didn't like box you out with like verified accounts. You have to be verified in order to reply. Nobody wants to fucking throw it up there because Trump's endorsed candidate lost. Nobody wants to. I'm serious. Nobody. They're like, oh, it's got to find some votes somewhere. Where's it at? All right. It's Iowa governor, Senate. What else am I missing? Montana's got some interesting stuff too, but interesting. We talked about House 1. This is interesting because Tester was able to carry it, even though Trump carried it, and Tester lost his reelection. So Jack Lee at large, way ahead, of course, rounds. There we go. South Dakota governor, that's over. Okay. So that's it then. There's only 2 counties not reporting now in Iowa. That's Greene and Montgomery. Strangely, I don't know. There's some like up in the air stuff. There, it's been fixed now. Okay. Yeah, like I said, Finstra netted 24 votes in Wapello. I don't know why that originally came in like that, but it did. I think at some point they're going to have to just go ahead and call that. They'll battle it out. Young Kim and Kim Varrett will battle it out. I thought she'd do better. I really thought Esther would do better over there. Apparently not. And there's 5 more candidates. You can see the Dem vote share lined up here. Republicans are at 50. The top 2 Republicans are at 55, a little over 56, we'll call it. Just about 56%. So tough. That's tough. We'll see. California can change dramatically with what is counted when. That's why I'm waiting. But that's interesting because Becerra's about to lose his lead to Hilton. Oh, so close, dude. Katie Porter's humiliated. Correct. Katie Porter has been totally humiliated. All right, I got a big race call here. Zach has won this race. Major race call. Zach has won this race. Finally. Let's go there, guys, real quick. Zach Lane has won. It's over. Trump has fucking lost. And we'll see how many people want to actually bring it up. It was front and center in my tweet. Major race call. Businessman Zach Lane has defeated sitting congressman and Trump endorsed Randy Fincher in the Republican primary for governor in Iowa. Talk about a bit of a humiliation, an embarrassment. Fincher has blown a race that was widely believed. Oh my God, Steen won green, but it still netted Lane 6 votes. There's just nowhere else. It doesn't matter if Fincher carries Montgomery, guys. He's almost 2,000 votes behind. It is what it is. So let's go back to California. It's a huge, huge, huge deal. No matter what you hear anybody say, that is a huge deal. Trump has lost. And it's like he doesn't like to step out of his comfort zone or his I'm wondering whether or not, like, what happened there with Fincher. He doesn't jump out, guys, and endorse just anybody. It's just just to get them over because he feels bad for them. That's bullshit. He doesn't do that, and he endorses when he feels that he's absolutely going to win it. And clearly, he didn't. So now, what happened here? Did he feel that his endorsement, I guess what I'm trying to say is, did he get a little bit too big for his britches? And did he think, fuck it, I endorse Fincher, he's going to win going away. I won Iowa. Iowa loves me. The farmers love me. You can hear him now, And the truth is, Iowa was a Trumpy state, and Trump has not made a lot of farmers in Iowa happy. Trump hasn't made working class people happy. It's an anti-war state. They don't like that shit at all. And I just don't know what else to tell people. This is not good. And Republicans barely outvoted Democrats. They're going to lose independents by a huge amount. Iowa's definitely in play. Honestly, Zach Lane winning is the best thing that could have happened to Republicans for them to keep this governor's mansion. And you watch, the Republican Governor Association won't help him. There'll be little bitches like the National Republican Senatorial Committee is going to do to Ken Paxton. You watch. Obviously, with some more Election Day vote coming in Los Angeles, which is really just drop off. Nobody really Election Day votes. It is, but it's not. Like, most of it's obviously mail. And there'll be a lot of cured balloting and stuff, which no Republican has any infrastructure of doing. So, yeah, that's a problem. But the fact that the two top Democrats are only at 56% in Los Angeles is, Becerra's lead is down to 0.16, about 6,000 votes. Most of the big blue areas are in. Ventura is not. That is a blue, obviously, area. Orange, actually, they're like suburbs in Ventura that are the Los Angeles suburbs that Republicans can do quite well in certain years. We'll see, though. We'll see how maybe someone like a Hilton could, honestly, but 0.18 lead. That's it. But Hilton got crushed in Riverside, and that is not good. In fact, they're only at 46% of the vote in San Bernardino. What the F? Let's be real. What the F? They're only at... Oh my God, what is going on in Orange County? Why do Republicans continuously suck the ass of white rich people? Like, in case you haven't noticed, they're not giving you the votes the way they used to. Yet we just continue with this obsession. YOLO! Let's see what happens in San Joaquin. It's going to go Democratic slightly, but we'll see. El Dorado. Mariposa. Nice there. Very, very nice. Madeira came out. Surprise. Well, maybe for Trump. They did that for Trump. Merced is going. Jesus. David, are you looking at the vote of Merced? You didn't vote, did you, USOB? Look, David, they're under 50% in Stanislaus. Somebody shoot me. Don't take that literally, you psychopath fuckers. All right, Fresno. It doesn't look good, David. Honestly, the Valley's not looking as good as I wanted it to. San Luis Obispo. That kind of sucks, man. I had high hopes for that area, you know? Really did. By the way, you may notice that the Hispanic working class counties are redder than the white counties. I would just like to point out, for the record, please, for the record, that the Central Valley working class Hispanic counties are redder. Thank you. Thank you. Twitter's going to love that. Businessman Zach Lane has defeated sitting Congressman and Trump-endorsed Randy Finstra in the Republican primary for governor in Iowa. There goes that record, G-Money. Boop-a-da-boop. I mean, yeah, he raised $4.3 million during 25, but 1.4 he took from his congressional committee. He just drained his war chest. That's what he did. He just assumed nobody would come out and match him in, but then, Finstra beat Steve King for his district. You remember Steve King? All right. And so Steve King, who's still very liked in that area of Iowa, endorsed Lane in April. And he said he has fantastic ideas and also the resources to fight Randy Finstra. Finstra trailed Lane in fundraising from January to at least mid-May. That's the latest campaign finance disclosure, which covered the period from May 15th to 26. It showed that Finstra raised just $38,566.44 from 22 individuals. But despite getting some of those big checks from several establishment figures, including the CEO of the Republican Main Street Partnership and the owners of trucking company, a huge pork production business, a rural real estate firm, he had less than $150,000 in the bank going into the last week of the campaign. Meanwhile, Lane was flush. Why? He was like, you need another $500,000? On May 22nd, wrote himself a $500,000 check. Oh, Zach Lane, ladies and gentlemen. Zach Lane. I'm sorry. I think that shit is funny. I don't like people who sit on their ass and think they're entitled to shit. I don't like it at all, I can't check my DMs on X, guys. I can't remember my passcode. So I see a bunch of DMs, but I can't actually check it. And I got to go onto my app and deal with it on my phone, but I really didn't have time before this started, so I left it. Damn, I know. Yo, we have a Rumble chat that wants to be read. It goes, let me clear my voice and make sure I get this correctly. Fuck Randy from this Lane voter in Des Moines. I'm sorry. Oh, Lane was endorsed by TPUSA. Was that right? Yeah. Well, there you go. It's a wrap now. We can come back and check the map in a second. I just really want to know if Steve Hilton's going to take the lead here. We got a couple red counties that could report right now and put him in the lead. The problem is, look at that. With the election day vote trickling in, Hilton takes second place in Los Angeles. Look at that. This is a problem, though. Look at Republicans splitting their shit in Imperial and Riverside. Man, Hilton got fucking smashed in Riverside. San Bernardino. Some of these places used to be such beautiful places. I don't know if you guys know that, but they used to be gorgeous. Tom Steyer's in deep shit. Spent a ton of money again, and he's in deep shit. Yes, Los Angeles has a lot of votes left. It's just he's in third place. So, I mean, that's an opportunity for Javier Becerra to hold on to his lead. That's what it is. There's still a lot of it's like Los Angeles is never ending fucking pit of votes. It's just so tough. If you keep leaning on those Orange County folks and you don't step out to go get the Trump coalition vote. You know, California's been shifting to the right repeatedly now, guys, for years. It's doing it organically by, you know, the Trump America First message. But now Trump has gone off the rails on that message. Let's just be real. We have to be objective. He's gone off the rails. You may like it because you're a Trumper. Good for fucking you. But the people who elected Donald Trump were not like Trump. I don't want to use the cultist word, but like whatever Trump says is gold, is gospel. That's not who elected Donald Trump. The people who elected him were the people who really did believe the America First message. And now they're like, I'm out. Big fat fart. The Associated Press has not called it. I don't care. The race is over. Iowa is over. Zach Lane has beaten Randy Finstra. That shit is done. Randy, you lost. You lost, bro. Unless you decide to find 2,500 ballots in the trunk of your car. Do you intend to do that, Randy? It's over. Doesn't matter what Montgomery does. It just doesn't. Let's see if there's any estimated vote remaining in any of these counties. What am I doing? I don't have to do that. That's what the maps are for. Winnebago has about 272 votes. Finster's winning that county by 14 points. Doesn't mean he's going to win that 217 votes like that. It doesn't matter anyway. Wapello has 40 votes, and Finster's only ahead by 1.2. That leaves what we believe to be just under 800 votes in Montgomery. It's not enough. The race is over. The Associated Press should just call it now, because when they don't do Steve Hilton takes first place. When they don't do that shit, it just makes people feel, you know, like something's up. You know what I mean? Like just fucking call it, dude. The votes are counted. Hilton takes first. Take your screenshots while you have a chance, because it ain't gonna last. Take your screenshots. Screenshots. Hurry up, because I want to go back to the mayoral race. Screenshots. Let's go. All right. Boom. Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. We're all rooting for Pratt. Let's face it. We're all rooting for Spencer Pratt. Let's not front around here, okay? We're all expecting... He already outperformed. Shit. He already outperformed. They're going to call those soon, too. Runner two. What's that? What do we got here? Insta. I love you, too. Nothing but love for you. Love you all. Yes, major splash. Trump's endorsed candidate for governor in the Republican primary in Iowa has lost. Steve Hilton is currently ahead by less than 3/4 of a point in the California governor's race. Tom Steyer is in third with less than 20 points. Javier Becerra is the favorite to end up first in second place currently right now, 30,000 votes behind. But as you can see, he has that alone in Los Angeles. So Hilton would have to really stretch his legs to be able to stay in first. You have, Napa. Oh, that's funny, man. But I expect that, Look, there's still votes, lots of votes left in blue areas. Man, ouch. Alameda, ouch. Actually, he's not doing that bad. It's Sacramento that's going to get... No, shit, man. You can keep it close like that because they're fighting each other over the votes. Then it's possible. It's just at Los Angeles alone. Monterey, look at that. It's not that far off, but he's doing decent in Santa Clara. It's 12,000 votes, guys. A lot. Alameda, too. Look at that. It's 20,000 vote difference between first and third. I mean, it's going to be hard for Hilton to hold it. And it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Let's just call it for what it is right now. I just really do feel like Republicans just not going to get it through their heads. And it's because so many of the establishment in the state of California, they don't want to represent this new coalition. That's the sad, really sad truth. They don't want to. It's like, oh man, those dirty working class people, fuck that, you know? South Dakota, we're done. Montana, we have that first district. Kurt Alms won the Republican primary, of course. That wasn't in doubt. He's winning with 77% of the vote. Alani Bankhead has won the Democratic primary for Senate. Doesn't matter. It could go badly. We've seen that with John Tester. We'll see. I just think for right now, the Nebraska is their problem. Republicans. Mike Rounds renominated in South Dakota with 76.6%. Not a fan of Mike Rounds for anything except for the disclosure stuff. He has been very open and forthcoming with personal things we've asked. He comes at it more from the, well, shit, man, we got to protect our skies, kind of thing. Was that a terrible impression of Mike Rounds? I'm sorry. Was that borderline offensive? I'm sorry. But that is how he comes at it, We can't just have people have things, perusing around our skies without any idea of what they are, Well, I think it's pretty clear if Chad Bianco did drop out, which was like, by the time Hilton was saying that, it's like, bro, like, how much vote has been cast already? I don't like it when people like demand others get out of the race. It's like, I'm sorry. I just don't like it. I think Chad had more like bona fides, you know what I mean? Like he did. But look, Republicans are sitting at 38% of the vote. It's not terrible. It's not winnable, but it's not terrible. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's fucking play games here, man. Like, let's keep it real, guys. Let's keep it real. No more votes yet in LA? Come on, man. I'll check this race out. Oh, there's Ventura and Hilton takes it. That's what happens when it's split. Let's go back up. Let's kill some of this. Show fewer. So we have the burbs of Los Angeles come in, which is Ventura County, and some tough districts over there, man. Well, was. Garcia lost anyway, but he was going to be written out regardless, obviously. But he lost last cycle. He was pissed because remember, of course, he called me what? An idiot, right? A terrible forecaster and an idiot. Right? Who's fucking laughing now, Mikey boy? You lost exactly how I told you were going to lose too, didn't you? Did that shit burn you, bro? Did you stay up like multiple nights like that fucking guy? I bet you did, Mikey. I bet you did. Fucking genius, right? Did you win on Fox News, dude? Did you? Did you and Duarte think you were going to win on the Fox News circuit, bro? Now you see that a white guy, an old white man who's a billionaire from Queens, New York, outperformed you with Hispanics. You and Duarte thought you had Hispanic last names, so they were just going to vote for you. I think what? Was it 5 or 7? No, that's right. I think it was 7. It was 5 for Duarte. Who lost his own home county while Trump won it. You fucking losers. Ukraine first, right? Zelensky and his fucking 8 ball first. Oh, bro. It was America first. Not Zelensky and 8 balls first. America first. You forgot. Break out the checkbook. Ain't my checkbook. Let's see. 80 rocket launchers and a crack pipe. 80 rocket launchers, a couple stingers, and 4 8 balls, please. I'm on the committee. I'll make it happen. You forgot a little something about like called your constituents. About half the vote now in California. How are we doing in the mayoral? Still nothing more, right? I should have put this on here. Let me add this to my races. My watch list, my races. Yep. Oh, it is in there. California governor. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the mayoral race in there. This one's an interesting one too, but okay, so Bass, nothing really has happened here since the last time we looked. Let's go ahead and stick it in there. There we go. So at least we'll be able to see Karen Bass over there at 88%, 86 on Polymarket, 81 on Kalshi. Interesting. I mean, at this point, you just need a ton of Democrats to vote for you. Otherwise, you just can't do it. Yeah, Javier Becerra is obviously projected to finish first. Hilton will be the second primary winner, almost assuredly. But there's the primary, and then governor election. You're going to have Javier Becerra overwhelmingly the favorite. That's on Polymarket. On Kalshi, Becerra. That's funny. They have Steyer and Hilton at the same amount. I don't think that's right. Not unless you expect it to change dramatically. And then, of course, you have Kalshi reflecting what I would say is reality a lot more. There's just too many places where Steyer is running way behind in third, right? Like even when you look at Los Angeles, it's close. And Hilton's slightly ahead in second place, but it does tend to be the case that some of this LA vote will be it'll be less liberal as the vote comes in. Now, California can be weird, and then there's these late counting ballots that miraculously break the trend of every other fucking early vote that you counted in that county. And then you, of course, have the curing process, which it follows no pattern whatsoever. It's basically who has more organization to sign more ballots. But like here, for instance, that's a good one for Steyer to make up some ground. But unfortunately, like Contra Costa, there's a lot of votes there, man. Hilton's in second. He's got twice the votes almost as Steyer. I mean, he's just running way too far behind Javier Becerra. Way too far. Sacramento's another one. Look at that. I mean, so I don't see unless Los Angeles is significantly more Becerra Steyer, which it just doesn't make sense. Hilton sitting at 23% roughly is about Los Angeles. I mean, that's in a year like this. That's what you would expect. And Ventura's still a lot of votes out there. And that's netting Hilton 13K over Steyer. Yeah, we'll see. Alpine, that's a little stuff. Well, it's not though. Again, like Republicans have been like counting on these like white areas. Yeah, I just point out with the exception of Shasta, which is 59%. Some of these others, look at that. Look at Madera, 57. That is a Republican in county, though. But Fresno's looking weak. That looks weak for Republicans. Although I'm not surprised. Tulare, that's 58, 59. That's a good question. So Hilton's getting about 211,496 votes out of Los Angeles, whereas Pratt is only getting 108,949. That's weird. It looks like they've counted more governor's ballots. That's weird. Hold on. Yeah, man. For some reason, there's been more counted for governor than for mayor. And honestly, if you want my honest opinion, it looks like they haven't counted any of the vote that isn't the early voting mail period. Whereas for governor, they have. I don't know why. Don't ask me. You can see there's 361,000 votes counted in Los Angeles for the mayoral race. But for the gubernatorial election, there's like a lot, almost 700,000. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a good catch though, Paul. It's a good catch. To me, it looks like they counted the open initial batch that they ran around and processed from the early vote by mail, and they have not counted any of the other batches yet. But they did for governor. They just didn't for. I know. It's fucking California, dude. Does anyone seriously believe that California's on the up and up? I'm not saying it costs Republicans races. Like, I just don't believe that. You know, the heavily urban, concentrations of populations. That's what that and Republicans' refusal to try to be like Trump and apply yourself to winning other non-traditional Republican votes. That's what's killing them in California. It's organically moving to the right. It is. But I hate to say it. I fear that might be over now because it was America first that did it. Mitt Romney didn't. He got his ass kicked. Again, major race call. Zach Lane has defeated the Trump-endorsed Randy Finstra. Whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant, guys. Like, Randy Finstra did not deserve that endorsement. I'm just going to say it right now. And it has long pissed me off how so many people get the president's coveted endorsement and fucking shit on it and do nothing. Like, I can't believe he gave it to him. I can't believe he gave it to him this time. It must have been a bit of hubris. Like, I'm just going to endorse him and then I'm going to save him. Don't worry, I got this. Like, but very clear that Zach Lane was running away with this race. Kudos to JMC Analytics, who put out a poll that they believed at the time was against the grain, even though I can tell you that Zach Lane's polls had him either tied with Finstra or maybe a little up. Randy Finstra's polls had him up by 4 to roughly I think the last one I saw was like Lane was like a few points behind, but everybody was calling bullshit on it. It was like really, really rosy for him, and nobody believed it. And everybody was. There were other people who did poll him. Were like, no. Fincher's sunk like a rock because he was leading. He was until like 2 months ago. He just fucking completely collapsed because he bombed. He didn't go to any of the debates. He didn't show up to any events. He did nothing. He just said, I deserve it because I'm a congressman. Who are you? And the voters of Iowa were like, he's serious. He had the money to self-fund, which a lot of other candidates don't. Unbelievable this is holding. And it is because look at like Humboldt, where Steyer's winning it, which is hurting Becerra, but then Hilton's actually in second. Mendocino, same thing. Although it's very close. Steyer at 24, Hilton at 21, Becerra at 20.8, really. I know that means it's like 21 almost. Yeah, they're separated by like 38 votes. It's crazy. We're at California counts so slow, guys. We're not going to be able to stream all the way until they call it for California. But look, it's going to be Becerra Hilton. I mean, is there a way for Steyer to catch up? Yeah, technically, but it's very, very difficult at this point. He's just not doing good enough in Los Angeles, and that's where the votes would be. Find it interesting that Los Angeles is essentially split 3 ways here, And now 2/3 of it are going to be Democrat, but it's not bad for a Republican showing. It's not. Well, that is a wrap, dude. Let's see. We got any other race calls here? Scott Wiener. This guy is a wiener. He will be in the top 2 in California 11. We already told you, Ken Calvert. He's moving on. You have, let's, as a matter of fact, let's just peek at that race real quick. Did I throw it in here? I should have thrown it in here. I knew this was going to be a little bit of interesting race. All right, so it is close enough. With that many votes remaining, you absolutely cannot call that for Young Kim. Young Kim will fight it out with Esther. It does still, I would say it is still more likely that it's going to be a shutout. Calvert and Young Kim will go against each other, which was honestly a kind of a good plan. It was, even though both of these people really don't like each other. And I know that Young Kim has made enemies with some of the congressmen or nominees for congressmen in the past. And in this case, they did what was, I think, smart. It's a way to hold on to a House seat that in a bad year, otherwise you would have lost. So as long as she can keep Kim Barrett, whatever, in third, it'll be a guaranteed Republican keep. This is a new map. You remember California drew the shit out of their map and really killed it. Oh, let me add this race. Watch list, my races. There we go. All right, let's go back to California mayor. Nothing more. Yeah, they're going to do this shit. Actually, there's a little bit more. No, it's 49.9. No, they're going to do this shit. That's terrible. Come on, guys. That's just effed up. Let's go. New Jersey had some interesting yeah, New Jersey had some interesting stuff. 4 million votes cast so far. Looks like we'll get about 8 million or so, ballpark. Hilton sitting with about 26.7% of it. Javier Becerra, 25.9%. But Los Angeles is still so much out that it's almost certain to pass. It's not enough in San Bernardino to keep it back. Look, it's only 44,000 in Orange. San Diego, 35. I mean, possibly. I don't know. I just they're not big enough. And like Fresno threw him a bone. That was pretty good. It's just Madera, dude. Look at that margin in Madera. Damn. That's David stomping around. There's always so much. Unbelievable, guys. By the way, we have to look up the South Dakota governor. Hold on. South Dakota governor, where are you? There you are. Doden. All right. Look at that. Look at that. It's a primary, of course. Unreal. Toby has won it. Will they pull a Swalwell in Maine? They're already really trying to do that. Plattner, listen, whether you like Plattner or not, it's very clear that it's very clear to me that they would rather have Susan Collins than Graham Plattner. And I'm talking about the Democrats. I really do believe that because, it's like, and I don't know. That's a good question too. I'll get to that in a second. I'm trying to be nice to Collins here, but she's enough of the status quo and she's enough of a team player and she's part of their team and their club. So they're not going to have Graham Plattner come in there and fuck things up. Like they're going to try to get Susan Collins over the finish line the way they abandoned their Democratic nominee in Alaska in 2010 to stop Joe Miller. And they abandoned their candidate and went with Lisa Murkowski and put together like this massive grassroots writing campaign. I have a feeling they'll abandon. It's like you can't say they'd abandon Graham Plattner, because in order to abandon someone means you had to like supported them to begin with, and they never supported Graham Plattner. And as far as who would win in this matchup, I'd have to pull it. I mean, I don't know. That's very close. That's close. We'll see what happens. Even second and third place right now is not really totally clear. It's leaning one way, but it's not totally clear. Let's look at House 40 again. I mean, this is what I hate about California. We get about 50% of the way, and then they just fucking stop. That's what they do. This is what they do. California mayor, the Los Angeles mayor hasn't moved at all. Nothing. Who's going to win Alaska, Dan Sullivan or Dan Sullivan? Dude, the fact that they did that shit, fuck Dan Sullivan so bad. It does, because he's like a vanilla dude. Nobody even knows. They're not going to know which one is the right Dan Sullivan, bro. Like, it's a problem. It is a problem. There's no doubt. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, it's gonna, at this point, it's gonna be Hilton and Javier Becerra. He's got to sue to get him off that ballot, Paul. He's got to sue to get him off that ballot. If he fails to get that guy off that ballot, it's a problem, man. It's a problem, dude. For real, this is an old dirty trick, and it works. And they got to get him off. They got to get him off the ballot. All right, so Siska, Modoc, Trinity was in before. Shasta was in before. All right, so now all of California's filled in. We're going to sit at 51.36% for the next 2 weeks. Okay? That's how California goes. Now we'll probably get to like 60 at like 4 in the morning, and then it'll stop. I'm telling you, there's no point. There's just... The GOP should be going absolutely nuts right now. I don't know what they're doing. They're sitting on their thumb and rotating, bro. Like, that's it. It's really not good. They should be losing. They can't afford to have that guy do that in Alaska. They could lose that seat. They could lose, like, for real, guys. They could lose that seat. It's not a joke, I am going to have to stop anyway sooner. I'm going to hit my limit on streaming on locals. If I don't, tomorrow I won't even be able to hold the show. I'm not kidding. All right. So basically every county now is not fully reporting, but has reported in South Dakota. And it's not totally in, but we're about roughly 70% of the vote in. Toby Doden is going to win this thing in first. And then Larry Rodan and Dusty Johnson are going to fight it out. But Dusty's down about 2,000 votes, and it's not like there's a ton left. Pennington, sure, but they're close. They're all very close. Rodan is 300 votes ahead of Dusty Johnson. So, Toby Doden won Pennington County. So, Cottington County, which is where Watertown is, Toby Doden smacked the shit out of everybody. 12 points over there. Sioux Falls, which I'm not doing this one. Minnehaha. Yeah, it's a county that includes most of Sioux Falls. Dusty Johnson actually did win that. It's about 400 net vote gain on Toby Doden, but that's why they're holding off. There's a lot of vote left there. But even if you go from Dusty to Joe Hansen, which is in fourth, it's a 500 vote net. So, it's tough. Brown is almost halfway in rural county, but it's where Aberdeen is. And Dusty Johnson carried that, but it's like 70 votes over Toby. So, yeah, I don't know how much more it could really move. Meanwhile, Hilton's stretching out, trying to reach that 1-point edge while they wait for Los Angeles. Look at that, though. 59,000 votes difference, guys. Yep, 59,000 votes. It's big. It's a lot. A lot of blue count left too. Yep. And notice you see all these red counties. They always get into the later stages of counting while we wait for these blue cities. It never fails. It never fails. Like, watch. Placer, El Dorado. Well, what was that? Look at that. Amador was already like 79. I mean, yeah, that's the way it goes. Message check, message check. Holy crap, how many messages do I have? Dale, I mean, I don't know if Dale is listening at this moment, bro. You did what you could do. You know what I'm saying? They did what they could do, you know? Smoked. Absolutely smoked. Yeah, I mean those. Oh, Paul, I just saw your website thing. Yeah, I mean that's MagaCon Inc. That's what we call MagaCon Inc. Could he hold first place? No, honestly, no. I'm just being real. It's going to be too much in Los Angeles. A lot. I keep forgetting I put the mayoral, and it still hasn't moved. See what I mean? Really hasn't moved. I'm telling you, we're going to have to revisit this tomorrow. They just don't move after a while, guys. You see the red counties in the statewide will trickle in a little bit more, but as far as Los Angeles, they will count. They will count super slow, man. It's like super slow. All right, let me go to locals and see what I've missed. By the way, I haven't done any public advertising, only on YouTube. Maybe they looked at Ballotpedia. Yeah, I mean, people look at that stuff, you know. Maybe people see APAC Amy for who she is. Maybe my policies are better. Again, no public advertising for me. I still got a solid second place, which I was surprised. Imagine if I advertised. Yeah, I mean, I thought what you did was great, man. So today I read on X that 92-year-old Chuck Grassley is considering running for another term. Senate is hospice. Yeah. Grassley needs to hang it up, dude. And I love Chuck, man. I do. I mean, overall, as a guy, even though sometimes he can be pretty nasty, and ladies, watch your boot is. But I mean, he's a legend. But it's time to move on, man. We got to stop this shit now with this. Like, there comes a point where if I'm 92, do I want to, not even look at Mitch McConnell stroking out on camera. Like, is this how you want to spend your formative years? Is it? Trump probably felt his endorsement really put Paxton over the finish line and felt his endorsement was God, not realizing that Paxton didn't need his endorsement. I will not vote for anyone Trump endorsed now. I voted 5 times for him counting in primaries. Yeah, I mean, look, Iowa's humiliation. Iowa's total humiliation for Trump. It's not. It is. That's just, like, supposedly his state. It's a big deal. It didn't help. And I am starting to think that there probably was a little bit of hubris that played a role in here. All of that talk, about how could I put it? All of these look at how Donald Trump is the undisputed king and blah, blah, blah. Whomever he endorses wins. I've said this as nicely as possible. When Trump's endorsement is in line with the base completely, then it is an enormously powerful tool, an enormously powerful instrument. When it's not, it's problematic. Like, you can even see here with Steve Hilton. There were a lot of people, guys, who really did like Chad Bianco. He's a sheriff. He's done a lot on immigration. He's got bona fides. So, like, then you just have Steve Hilton, this Fox News personality, come out of nowhere, and Trump endorses him. And it's like, he could be really making, he could have gotten that check already, look, by the way, now you can see why I don't think that Hilton can stay in first place, right? It's a lot of vote left, guys. Look at that. And yeah, Becerra's winning it, but we'll see what happens here. There's some vote in Orange County. It's just Hilton is not winning it by as much as you would think. He's not. Fresno, there's vote left there, but I mean, just look at all the blue vote, guys. Look at how much is left. Even in Sacramento, that's interesting because I know that they're not that far off there. So that won't help them. That won't help Becerra as much as you might think. But you got San Diego, you know, Orange County's got a bunch of vote left. It's too much, man. There's just too much. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands left in Los Angeles County. And that's 59,000 votes right there. It would be very, very hard. I mean, it's possible. It is possible. I wouldn't. I mean, a 1 point lead, which is about 40,000 votes. It's not enough when you consider this 59 net right there in Los Angeles alone. So, look at that. That's the early vote. That actually is good, though, for Hilton to suggest they'll probably do better in what remains in Los Angeles, but I'm not sure it's enough. 40,000? I don't know, man. It's nothing in California. It's just nothing. So many people. But again, look at how this state has changed over the last 12 years, particularly, in the Trump era, 10 years. Huge change. California was one of the few states, one of 4, I believe, that moved, and I believe it moved compared to the national swing more to the right than any other state. That, Nevada and North Carolina. Oh, yep. And then you have Florida, of course, but California's blue. So it's noteworthy when you see the country from 16 to 20, move 3.5 points to the left, and California move 5 points to the right, Same thing with Nevada, by the way. It moved to the right. I mean, to the left, less than the nation overall. And actually, that's right. That's what may make California stand out. It didn't move. So the others just resisted the leftward shift compared to the nation overall. California actually just moved to the right. Could you imagine if Republicans somehow were to get? This is why I was always so, bullish and advocated for the Trump coalition and what ultimately became the Trump coalition in 24. Of course, when other pollsters were polling it and saying it wasn't real, there's no young people. That's not right. That's a mirage. A black vote is a mirage. The Hispanic vote's a mirage. It's all a mirage, right? It wasn't a mirage. And this is why I was like, you could talk every damn cycle about how one day Democrats are going to get Texas. Well, what about if you flip that on its head and it's like, well, how about you worry about the day Republicans take California back? It's over. It's over. The Electoral College is over. It's done. Done. Checkmate. And you're not going to do it by, arguing you got to throw everybody out. You're just not going to do it. And you can ultimately throw them out if you want to, but I'm saying it's not. Yeah, it looks like, by the way, the Public Sentiment Institute, if this holds, did really good. They had Bass 39.9, Pratt 21.1, Rahman 12.2. They did have, quite a bit undecided, but let's go to the California mayoral race right now. And I mean, that's really close. You have Karen Bass sitting at 36.57. They had her at 39.9. Pratt at 29.99. They had Pratt at 21.1. And Rahman, they had a 12.2. There was some, polls that were out there, man. This looks like they're going to end up doing pretty good. It's funny because Bass's approval was 45.7, 45.1. Heh. Yeah. But they wonder, okay, well, I'll vote for Rahman. And then come the general, when they advance, it's not that simple. We got a little bit more vote in. I don't think we're going to get any more calls for a while here, guys. I just don't think we're going to be able to. Although, I mean, I'm telling you, I think that it's almost assured. Man. I think Republicans are cooked in House District 22 in California, guys. I think they're cooked. That is not. Let me look at something, please. Give me 1 second. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay. Give me 1 second. I got to find it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Valadeo has moved on. That call just happened, by the way. Republicans are done. Valadeo's done. He's done. He's finished. Yep, he's done. You guys see it? It's over. Valadeo's not. By the way, Trump impeaching. By the way, Valadeo, the what did they call him? The California GOP and the National Republican Congressional Committee. They called David Valadeo the ideal Republican candidate for California. Well, it was only a matter of time. All right, he's done. He's done. Democrats are sitting at 55+% of the vote. House 22 is Valadeo's finished. He will not survive in November. He will not survive. Oh, another interesting primary. I don't know why they're not doing this. I don't know why they don't care about these primaries. They're not listed. House, when was it? Is it 6? Yes. So Kevin Kiley had to leave because they were going to have, he was done. He was just going to be finished. So he had to leave and he jumped on it as an independent, okay, even though he is the incumbent, an incumbent Republican. Funny story, too. Kevin is no fan of Donald Trump, yet they went golfing together and Donald Trump liked him, so he endorsed him. It looks like he'll probably finish, in the top here, but he's in deep trouble, too. I mean, the Democratic vote is about 55%. He is in deep, deep trouble. We'll see who the Democrat is who decides who is able to face him. It'll be or if Michael Stansfield doesn't somehow get into second place. I just don't know. Stansfield's not leading anywhere. Kiley's leading in placer. That's awful close though. And then you have Stansfield in second again, but he's in second to Pan. So what's left? 50.8. Oof, damn, that's going to be close. Holy crap, that's going to be close. They're both about 800 votes away on each more. 700, 800. It's going to be close. Really close. This is 400 roughly. Let's call it 380, something like that. And then 386. Wow, that's close, guys. Number 2 will be, this is interesting. This is another watch list race. Okay, because this will help determine the House 100%. If Republicans can get, both Stansfield and Kiley in the top 2, that would be a real burner for Democrats. That would really suck. They're counting on that district. That would really, really suck for them. I don't think we have to look at that anymore. I think it's basically cooked. The California, Los Angeles mayor race. It's going to move very slow. And Hilton's still holding on to a small lead here. 300,000 votes for Tom Steyer to make that up. You're talking about I don't even think it's possible. He's just not doing good enough in Los Angeles. He's got a couple. The reason why they're holding off is because he does have a couple of counties where he's leading, but man, none of them seem to be providing anywhere near the margin that he needs. There was one though where he was ahead of Steyer pretty significantly. I mean, ahead of Hilton pretty. No, that's not it. Was it Sacramento? No, it wasn't. No. So yeah, I just don't see how Steyer does it, dude. I just don't see where he's going to get that from. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's just not. Looks a lot closer than it is. And in order for Steyer to catch up, he would have to do better in Los Angeles. The vote in the Bay Area is just Not enough. Frankly, Hilton's doing too well in Sacramento to catch up. We're being awfully slow tonight on what we're willing to say. I don't know why that is when you have such a clear picture. Anything's possible, of course, but we have vote from everywhere now. And typically the vote will get a little bit more Republican, and then the last remaining vote gets pretty slanted Democrat. It's just part of that is just the ground game, the organization that Democrats have versus Republicans. Although Republicans have kicked it up in some areas, not everywhere, but in some areas of California, Republicans have picked it up. The Francisco Tamayo and John McCann win the California Chula Vista mayor nonpartisan primary, which is, of course, not nonpartisan. All right, Jim Desmond's going to move on in California 48, which we can look at real quick because I don't think we have yet, but let's look at it. Boom. That was pretty easy. Desmond. Again, though, it's going to be a very, very, very close race. Democrats clearly have a majority of the vote when you add it all together. Republicans are just shy. It's looking like a 51 to 49, 52 to 48 race. Very close race. Some of these California districts for a while have actually, now this is a new map, but they have been, close fights, drag out fights for a long time. All right, here's the scoreboard so far. We can go down, look at New Mexico, New Jersey. Bennett won overwhelming. Murphy, New Jersey Senate, although the turnout was terrible. 7 will be tough. This has been an absent Republican congressman, so Rebecca Bennett will go on to face him. He has done nothing. He has some kind of medical condition. Nobody knows, but he claims that he will be available to serve come the next election, the next session. I don't know. I mean, that's up to his constituents to demand, but amazingly, he's been able to float under the radar here. And then Montana House 1 is also an interesting race. Again, Montana was John Tester territory for a while. Moderate Democrat, supposedly. Of course, he wasn't really. Moderate Democrat who would win that district as Trump won it. And Republicans would barely be able to. They just ran so far behind Trump and that shit. Even winning, even though Tester lost re-election, he still won that district with Trump. Well, guys, I'll tell you what, I don't know when they're going to go ahead and call this, but you can actually see Becerra is not that far behind. He's literally 40, just about 40,000 votes behind, which is the closing of the gap, honestly, because soon Hilton's going to run out of other places to add to, and it will take a very long time for them to count these votes. Bianco leads in Lassen still. I believe he leads in Riverside too. He does. Taking a lot of votes off the table. Lots. But shit, man. Looks like Democrats, even in Riverside, have more. I mean, it's tough. It's tough, guys. You got to win a lot of Democratic votes if you want to win a statewide race. There's no other way around it. Or convert them before then. Again, the big story of the day is actually, even though California was like headlining tonight, 6 states holding their regular primaries, the real headliner, California, is popping off right now, and it's an interesting race. But the Iowa Republican primary for governor was the most, I think, the biggest stunner of the night, was the biggest headline of the night, which saw Randy Finstro as a congressman. This has been a problematic campaign for Republicans for months. The establishment had been, firing flares in the air and trying to get the help of the White House. Eventually, Donald Trump endorsed Randy Finstro on May 29th, but it just wasn't enough. Polling 2 days before that endorsement, conducted on the 27th and the 28th, did show that Zach Lane was winning. And also, not that he was ahead by a few points, but that undecideds, late decideds, broke for him big time when you lean them. And that tells me Trump was able to at least stop that. But Finstro's campaign was run. Locals read it. If you're a locals person, you read what I wrote. This I really say cannot be overstated how bad of a campaign he ran. And actually, I'm going to read exactly what I wrote. All right. This is an interesting one for you guys to follow and is an odd Trump endorsement, given his desire to constantly have a perfect or near perfect record on endorsements. One can argue it's the consultants getting payback for the money Randy Finstro has spent on their invoices, but I honestly can't confirm that. I don't really know yet, but I will figure it out. I'll ask and we'll find out who was getting billed. However, or who was sending bills. However, this poll, which I linked, suggests Finstro was down to businessman and former Zach Lane, 27 to 24 over the 2 days prior to the endorsement. In all honesty, Randy has run a really terrible campaign, and Lane is flush from self-funding and outraising Finstro. Republicans have internally been hitting the panic button on this for months. I cannot understate how badly this campaign was run. Or I meant to underscore is what I meant. Overstate underscore. Can't the president's mark dramatically change the race? Well, technically, yes. Data from the Iowa Secretary of State's office showed county auditors had received only 17,908 Republican ballots as of the morning of May 29th, when Trump endorsed. So, for comparison, just under 199,000 GOP voters participated in the 22 GOP primary elections, meaning a massive majority had yet to cast their ballot in the primary. And, by the way, we're currently sitting at about 213,737 primary votes. Okay? The questions are twofold. Can a poorly run campaign get the message out effectively? In other words, great, now you got the endorsement. Can they get it out effectively and convince people? And two, will the endorsement have enough weight? Obviously, recent primaries suggest that only older, more new MAGA, which is really traditional Republican voters, are participating in these primaries, and the endorsement carries a tremendous amount of weight with them. Let's see if Trump's endorsement can save him. And the answer to that was no. Did it make it a more competitive race? Yes, I believe it did. But something happened and they just didn't go with Trump. I think Kiki Blue probably on locals tip, I think probably explained better than other explanations why Trump took a risk on Randy Finstro the way that he normally does not do. He loves his endorsement record. He doesn't like to lose. He doesn't want to say I'm 99-1. He doesn't want to say that shit. So if you're competitive, you're not going to get the endorsement. Trump probably felt his endorsement really put Paxton over the finish line and felt his endorsement was God, not realizing Paxton didn't need his endorsement. Oh, and that's, I think, probably the closest thing to accurate. I think a lot of stuff can go to your head, man. And when the media is beaten down and saying, you're the undisputed ruler of the party, what you say goes, you can look at something, especially if Randy Finstro's campaign gives you a poll that shows, actually, I'm still ahead, 27-26, but it's really close. And that's probably what happened. And Trump said, well, it's close. He's ahead a little, and I'm just going to push him over because, I'm the undisputed king, And they missed the moment. And truth be told, if you would have dug into because I saw some of these other polls too that were internal, if you would have dug into them, you would have saw that Zach Lane had a better image than Randy Finstro. People did not like that Finstro didn't show up for debates, that he just felt like he was entitled to it. He fucking disappeared. He's an absent congressman. Like, people really, it was a problem. Everyone knew it was a problem. And once again, I feel like if we dig into it, we're probably just going to see that the MAGA con consultants were the ones sending bills to Randy Finstro's campaign. So that's why Randy Finstro got the endorsement. because that comes with part. It's part of the grift. You give me the money, I'll get you the boss's endorsement. And it's a shame because here and now, look what they did to the president. He can't afford to be embarrassed anymore. And nobody's protecting this guy. Nobody. I maintain that there's not a single fucking person around the president either smart enough or genuine enough to really protect him. Maybe they mean well, but they just aren't cutting it, man. I don't know what to say. All right, see, we're already down now to 35,000 votes. That's just going to keep happening as some of these big urban areas come in. That's just going to keep happening, guys. I will say this, though. I really don't see how Tom Steyer is going to catch up. So, we can probably go back to this now. Yeah. And we can, let's go Zach up there the whole time. Yeah, Zach won. I didn't even realize I was looking at the stuff. Let's go through some of these. I got through all the tips on locals. Trump betrayed, broke democracy, not just the GOP. Trump's betrayal broke democracy, not just the GOP. Yeah, I mean, Iowa is not the state fucking around with like that. It's not. Why don't some do. Some do. Some don't. Most don't. Nobody wants to be told they're not as smart. They're not the smartest person in the room. That's what it comes down to. And in fact, something like this even happened at the highest levels right now. And the person who said, this guy is right, we have to listen to him, is now taking a bunch of shit because they didn't listen. And I was right. And and now it's like he believed me. And now he's getting shit rolling downhill because nobody wants to look at the guy who was right every day. It gets annoying. The question is now, is Vance too damaged by Trump? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know yet, but that is the question. You're absolutely right, Shane Bell. That is the question. You're right. We shouldn't have to go that long tonight. 3 hours later, at least my bets on the Dem winning the Iowa Senate race are a bit better with Hinson Turek. Yeah, Republicans are in trouble. They're in trouble. They should have, it's not a bad showing, bro, but it's like, you can see that Democrats are clearly more fired up. And Republicans are going to lose the independent vote in Iowa. Overwhelming. So, shit. Rich, can you please, pretty please, pull up the Pratt summer ad? Please. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it, okay? Let's see. Is it the one where they wake up with the kid? Yeah, June 1st. Yeah, I think I got it. Oh my God, there's a couple of them that are actually really good. Oh, there's an alien one too? Get out of here. Okay, we're going to watch a couple Spencer Pratt ads before we go. Let's go. All right, cut one. You ready? Here's one. Make sure the volume's up. It is.
We need to talk. We saw the things you've been searching online. Spencer Pratt? Really?
In this house, we don't believe in Spencer Pratt. He's MAGA.
What about Spencer Pratt is MAGA?
You know those streets downtown? The ones that are full of piss and shit and homeless people? He wants to clean them up.
And those neighborhoods that burned down? The Palisades? Malibu? He wants to rebuild them.
You know how people inject heroin in front of children at the park? He wants to stop that.
And that's MAGA?
Yes. It's a very dangerous ideology.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Hold on, there's more. Hold on.
Her biggest
Hold up.
donor.
What about Spencer Pratt? I hear he's good.
A reality star? Bah, humbug.
By the way, Mr. Scrooge, do you mind getting me an Uber home? The bus is full of homeless drug addicts who smoke fentanyl and inject heroin.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Jacob Marley? My former business partner? But you're dead!
I supported California Democrats when I was alive, and now I've been condemned to walk the earth in chains. You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
I'm the ghost of LA past. Come with me. This is downtown LA in 2013. Wonderful, right? No hordes of homeless people pissing and shitting everywhere. Look, there's Bob Cratchit, the clerk at your store. He bought a condo and started a family. That's his son, Tiny Tim. This is MacArthur Park. Families having fun? Not worried about stepping on heroin needles? The Palisades. The neighborhood isn't burnt down. And the reservoirs are full, not empty. I must leave you now.
I am the ghost of LA present. Look at the Palisades under Karen Bass. Still burnt down after all this time. And just look at downtown. A tent city. MacArthur Park is an open-air drug market. I must leave you now. I am the ghost of LA future. This is the city after 4 more years of Karen Bass. MacArthur Park is a lost cause. Downtown has somehow gotten worse.
Is that Mr. and Mrs. Cratchit?
Yes, they're homeless now.
Where's Tiny Tim?
Tiny Tim is dead, stabbed to death by a homeless man.
No.
Oh my God. This is so fucking good.
I'm the ghost of LA Pratt. This is LA after 8 years of Mayor Spencer Pratt. Kids can actually play at the park. The Palisades. Rebuilt.
What about Tiny Tim? Is he alive?
Nah,
Yes.
still dead.
He goes to UCLA.
Oh,
What day is it?
It's Tuesday. Election day.
There's still time? There's still time.
Time for what, Mr. Scrooge?
There's still time. Time to vote for Spencer Pratt. Take the rest of the day off. Let's go vote for Spencer Pratt.
and it. Hold on, there's more. Hold on.
Galactic importance.
We seek the legendary Spencer Pratt.
Why?
To create a hybrid baby capable of leading our civilization for 1,000 years. Is this the apocalypse? No. According to locals, this is Tuesday, and the Democrats created this mess.
Our calculations show only one human possesses enough common sense to fix this.
Spencer Pratt!
Wait, you flew across the galaxy because you want me to be your planet's baby daddy?
Correct.
Also mayor, and maybe supreme galactic advisor.
That's a lot for one Tuesday. I would have to ask my wife.
Our future leader shall be part Zorblaxon, part Pratt.
If beings from another galaxy trust me with their future, maybe Los Angeles should too.
Come on, man, that's so good. I don't know if I got the one you wanted, but that's the one I saw. Have you guys seen? You guys know the summer one? Am I missing it? Is there a? If there was a link or something, I would grab it. Wow, lots of comments here. Let me go all the way to the bottom. See if I can get a new one here. Isn't that good? It's good stuff, right? I'll see if I can come across some other ones. Boom. What's this? How do you feel about Republican turnout in Cali? It seems good. It does. It seems pretty good. I'm telling you, I mean, you got the Ken Calvert race. If Young Kim hangs in second, that's a guarantee to keep House 40. And then, because Valadeo's done, he's done. What? It does seem good. I've seen this with LA before, and that's why I'm very reluctant to say, like, you know, Hilton will stay in first. I'm looking at vote outstanding, and they put up about as much as they could put up, you know. We'll see. I mean, look, we're now down. Yeah. See, they hang out, they wait, and they get within striking. They want to know how much they need, and then they dump, and it's like it's going to be hard for Hilton to stay in first. Very hard. It's a lot of vote out there, man. And Becerra's like, look at that. 53,000. No, 63,000. It's a lot, man. That's just LA too. So we'll see. But yeah, they did good. But at some point, you're gonna have to break into other demographics, otherwise just unfortunately it's not gonna be enough. Graham's internal pollster has called me 3 times the last 2 weeks for the last month. Is this a sign he's scared, or I'm just part of a tracking poll? You're part of a tracking poll. They I don't know if you have been, I'm not going to ask you, it's all right, like whoever you've been voting for, they probably tagged you as a key demographic and they're seeing if you're changing your mind. It depends. It's a regular poll that doesn't like give you a bullshit question, right? Like a push or anything, because otherwise they could have tagged you as somebody persuadable, and they keep giving you push polls disguised as real polls to try to convince you to vote. But most of the time when that happens, you're part of a tracking poll. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah, we did. We got through it all. I mean, if I don't stop now, guys, I know California is going to keep going for a while. And if I don't stop now, I'm going to hit my stream limit tomorrow. And that's going to suck because we're going to have a lot more to talk about tomorrow, Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, top 2 would be great, but then he's got to get in. He's got to win. He's got to beat her. He's got to keep Bass below the majority threshold, and then he's got to beat her. And that's the thing. I mean, it's one hell of a look. He's putting up one hell of a show, but it's like, let's can we change here? Hello, why isn't it going? There we go. It's tough. Nithya Rahman is just together with Karen Bass. Well over 50%. So it's just really hard, guys. Really hard. Even though it's a nonpartisan, we know, who we know they're liberals. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he put on a show though, and I think he showed that is, you can do something different, which I think is interesting. I think that's cool. And he got a lot of attention. All right, let's look at the markets and see who's who. I think that's about right. Javier Becerra is definitely the one that you would put your money on to make sure he's going to get in. Steve Hilton, too, I think at this point is pretty much, I'll just say it. I think he's safe. I do. And I think Hilton's got 40% of the vote, which is really incredible. But nevertheless, it's 40%, Can he hold on with what's left can he hold on to the first spot with what's left in Los Angeles, guys? No. I mean, no. All right. So yeah, I know I'm getting the 1 o'clock warning, which means if I want to do my normal 2-hour show, I'm getting very, very close to getting to that cutoff. And I don't want what happened the last time, which is that locals just got cut off before we were done. I don't want that to happen to them again. So let me end it there. We'll go ahead and we'll say, yeah, I mean, look at this one. Brandy not showing up for debates sealed the deal for me. What a pussy. I mean, dude, who do you think you are? Just not coming to debates. Like, what are you thinking? Like, no matter who you support, we absolutely should not be okay with these politicians that don't show up for these debates. I mean, we saw this in Kentucky as well. And without Trump's, allies, AIPAC allies spending $32 million, they wouldn't have gotten Massey. I mean, it's just not enough. You can't do that everywhere, though. You can't. And Zach Lane had money to fund himself. And just look at what the damage he did. It's all over the Des Moines and Cedar Rapids media markets. I mean, you could see it clear as day. Look at it. Watch. Look at that. So even though, I mean, this is pure, kind of traditional Republican country, this is Trump country. Republicans don't do well in these counties. But you could see they went with Finstra because Trump said to. That's the difference Trump made. But Zach Lane was smart, and he went around the Trump coalition, and he said, you know what? Not all of the Trump coalition is like Donald Trump D-riders. They're not. And he hit the Des Moines media market. He hit the Cedar Rapids. He was really smart and obviously competed for the evangelical vote. Yes, he lost Woodbury, which is a lot of evangelicals there. That would be not cultural evangelicals, more of the, what's that loser guy who kept being called Kingmaker, and, he endorsed Ron DeSantis and Trump humiliated him. That's that kind of traditional evangelical. But to the north and farther up by Lyon, that's in Sioux itself. We have Robert and I, even though Fincher won Sioux, look, he didn't win it like he won Woodbury. And that's like the more what we call the cultural evangelicals. They're evangelicals, but they're not all Zionists, and they're younger and they have different views, certainly more moderate too. When it comes to certain things, they have more moderate views than, the evangelicals of old that propelled George W. Bush ahead of John McCain and propelled Ted Cruz ahead of, even though Ted Cruz pulled the dirty trick, with Ben Carson. That's how he beat Donald Trump. Otherwise, Trump would have beat him in 2016. He would have. But nevertheless, he pulled it, and he had evangelical ground game and grassroots, and it worked. This was brilliant. What Zach Lane did here tonight was brilliant, and he dealt the president an embarrassing loss. He did. And nobody will talk about it because they're pussies and they're too afraid, but that is what happened. I mean, this was a brilliant map. And then you can see how it's like checkered. And he said, all right, I'm going to take these media markets, I'm going to push out. And that's how we're going to do this. And then he targeted places like Lyon. He targeted Plymouth. He targeted Cherokee. He obviously even targeted Sioux itself. He didn't do that bad there. And he said, if I just keep those margins down and I take these major media markets, I can still win. And he did. That's what he did. And very clearly, the Republican electorate's pissed and sour right now. And they're basically tired of people like Fincher who are like, oh, just give it to me because, I'm due or something, it was bound to backfire at some point, and it was bound to not work. Wasn't going to sell. Iowa, again, the quintessential pivot state, the most pivot counties out of any state in the country, 31 pivot counties, 31. Alamaki, Boone, Bremer, Buchanan, Cedar, Cerro Gordo, Chickasaw, Clark, Clayton, Clinton, Des Moines, Dubuque, Fayette, Floyd, Howard, Jackson, Jasper, Jefferson, Jones, Lee, Louisa, Marshall, Mitchell, Muscatine, Poweshiek, I think it's called, Tama, Union, Wapella, Webster, Wenatchee, Worth. And there's no other state in the country that has that many. So, you take it for granted at your own risk. Randy Fincher took it for granted. Republicans are taking it for granted. Barack Obama and Democrats took it for granted. And now here we are. Full circle. All right, let me get going. Don't forget, if you like the videos, to like them and to share them far and wide. Of course, we're everywhere. Don't forget to follow us on X and the gram at peoples_pundit. It could just be at People's Pundit on Truth and Getter. But of course, the best place to follow is right here on Locals. peoplespundit.locals.com, peoplespundit.locals.com. On the tube, everywhere, subscribe. Don't forget, hit that little like button. We love you for it. Thanks so much, as always, for the super chats, the stickers, the Rumble rants, the Locals tips, the Rumble wallet tips, all of that. We really do appreciate your support from all that stuff, and we love you for it. Links in the description to Burn It Down if you haven't gotten it. Went on a bit of a tear again today about the generational thing. People just don't get it. I grabbed that short. I sent it out because that short is the conversation. I mean, this is primary season and that's fun and everything, but general elections are what win elections, and that's how you dictate policy. And if you can't win a general election, none of it fucking means anything, does it? All right. And my point is, you don't have to compromise your principles to win general elections if you're on the right. In fact, it's the opposite. You really just have to do what you said you were going to do. It's honestly a cherry situation. I don't understand what the holdup is. Anyway, it's obviously much more complicated than that. But yeah, that link's in the description as well. All right, so we'll revisit California tomorrow. We'll take one more look at it here before we go. Hilton is in the lead by just under a point. But there still is a lot of vote in Los Angeles County, Monterey, and other places. Sacramento, though, where Hilton's actually doing pretty good compared to Steyer. So, as far as whether or not he could fall in the second place, that's very, very tough to see at this point. Steyer's simply not doing good enough anywhere for me to really entertain that at this point. The only question is whether Javier Becerra will finish in first, and I think the answer is that he will once these votes are counted, although Steve put up a hell of a fight here. He did. Now, the only way Steyer could do something here is if Steve Hilton totally collapses outside of the initial early vote in Los Angeles, and I can't even imagine that happening. Doing worse, I guess, yeah, but typically until we get to those late arriving ballots and the carrying ballots, we're not there. And I mean, Steve Hilton has currently a 300,000 vote lead on Tom Steyer. That is a significant lead with 4.2 over million counted already. We're probably going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 million. And that's a lot, man, to expect, to net over 300,000 votes out of what's outstanding, because you can see what's remaining here. Yes, there's a lot of blue. And of course, the 4 biggest areas remaining, 2 are blue, 2 are red, actually, because San Diego, and orange. But there's a cluster, of course, by the Bay Area. And actually, Sacramento may have more. Hold on. Nope. Nope. Sacramento is less. So 2 are blue, 2 are red, and there are a bunch of other reds all over the place. So it's possible. It's just there's so much left in Los Angeles. I don't know. I don't know how Hilton would hold that back. It could be remarkable if it did. But the problem that Hilton does have too is that some of this vote, like in Riverside, Bianco's winning it, and it's just not doing good enough to like net another 30 or something like that, which would help push back what Becerra is going to net overall in another 400,000, 800,000 he's got, right? There's about this over that counted now. Netted Javier 63,000. So he's going to net at least another 55,000 out of Los Angeles, at least. And then he's got, the Bay Area. So it'd be hard. It'd be hard for Hilton to hold it back. Not impossible, but very difficult. All right. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Again, thank you for all your tips, super chats, rumble rants, all that stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll go over what's left. We'll go over the wreckage once it is all done. Sound like a plan? All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great rest of your night. Sleep tight. You know the deal. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I won't, because I got dynamite. That's what we say with our kids. All right, later, guys. Scanner's on the screen. Scan it.